Hi, welcome to episode 72. Just wanted to give a quick message to our listeners about the changes in our content. You may have noticed that our most recent episodes have looked a little different than our usual format. We've been doing interviews and guest appearances. We really have been enjoying talking to fellow fans of horror. And then we decided to take it a step further. What if we left the house on purpose to talk to people about horror in public? On purpose. So that's been happening. It's led to some amazing opportunities, and it's been very cool to be a part of and learn about other AT Alien horror creators and what they're doing. So we have a lot of cool things coming up for ourselves and our friends, which we will discuss in this episode with guest Rock with Siren. The next episode, however, will be the old familiar way, where it's just me and Dana pick a movie and argue about it, and go on a tangent or agree with the movie. Who knows? We'll see. And it will be Dana's pick, and she has fittingly chosen a Peruvian 2016 horror called The Light on the Hill for Hispanic Heritage Month. You can watch this for free on Fossum.tv, so I highly recommend. So you can also follow along in our next episode as we discuss it. Also, we just got back from Peru, y'all. Dana's fatherland. Yeah, we've grown so much. Not only have we decided to leave the house on purpose, we record ourselves on camera. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our YouTube and catch our next episode on video. Because don't you want to see our nice little faces? Plus, our personal footage from our dark tourism experience in Lima will be on the video episode. So without further ado, episode 72, and catch you next week for an epic one. Dana can't wait to talk about Peru with y'all. So yeah, that's it. Say no to drugs and carbs. Okay, bye.
Let the air pass through you. Is it working? Yes.
Great.
You're my hero. I need a hero. Oh, when evil lurks. I haven't seen that.
I did see that. I did see that.
Was it good?
That's the Spanish movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. It was interesting. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm trying to remember what happened at the end.
She doesn't remember a lot of things. I don't remember a lot of short-term stuff. I have memory issues when it comes to short-term. Short-term is very bad, but I remember my childhood very well.
I can see a lot of the scenes, but I just can't remember how it ended.
Hello. Hi. Valium? You seen Valium?
Mm-mm.
Whew. All right, let's do it. Something wrong with the children. Okay, let's start. Yay!
Okay.
So we're here at my casa with lovely Shannon.
Hey. Shannon for Thompson.
Wait, are we recording?
Yes,
we are. Oh, okay. Hi.
We have been the whole time.
Hello. The whole time. Well, hello. Thank you for inviting me to the table of the horror hussies. I am so glad to be here.
Yes. So we're sitting here with our good friend. Let's just have a little love fist. How did you come to know us?
You know, actually,
she doesn't remember.
it is kind of a weird situation. So I think I was on Instagram, and I think somebody I related that liked you guys, and I heard your podcast, and I think you were talking about poltergeist.
Okay.
I think it was something like that. And you were talking of horror, and you were two women, you know, and I really like to celebrate women of horror. And women who love horror, and you know, just that kind of thing just interests me. And then when I listened to your podcast online, I was like, oh, I really agree with what they're saying, and
Yay.
And I kind of caught on, and then I listened to another one, and then I
like the whole thing.
Yeah, like the whole thing. I was working and listening to your voices the whole time, and then let's see, and then I saw your Instagram, and I've been seeing that you guys have a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
I think you went to an anthology film festival or something.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw y'all.
That was our first
I guess
live
visually
events.
on our feed, I guess.
Yeah.
We're putting ourselves out there.
I think I sound like a stalker, but I just...
No! I didn't know you were watching us this long, Shannon.
Do you want my sexy voice when I say I was looking at you in the bathroom through Instagram?
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
you just said, I really like that red shirt you're wearing right now.
Right.
How did you know I was wearing it? I'm watching it through the window.
Talking about, we did say horror women, so...
Yeah. And
So that's how I came
Yeah.
to. I started liking you, following you guys, and you were just saying the things that I agree with.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I just started listening to you from there. And I saw you liked film festivals, and I just started taking over Buried Alive Film Festival, and I was just really excited to meet you guys. And
yeah, we met up and hit it off ever since, and we have loved your friendship
yeah,
on a
you're so
professional
nice.
and
I
community
tried.
based
And you're
level.
so cool.
You are
I'm
cool.
like,
I still couldn't get
fabulous.
over it. It was like I don't know. I was like, people like us. Like she
I know.
doesn't like us.
I was like, why does she
what?
like us so
Why
much?
does she like us?
It's
Like,
wrong.
it was so stupid because we're meeting at like our stomping grounds, which has apparently been the same stomping grounds for you. We just never
Yeah.
seen each other. It's like sliding
Yeah.
doors. Like
Yeah.
you were at the masquerade when we were at the masquerade, and
Yeah.
all the places in Atlanta that
7
like we
stages
grew
for
up
the
with.
old
yeah,
Buried
7
Alive.
stages,
Yeah.
Buried
Yeah.
Alive, yeah.
Yeah,
Star
so it was
Bar
just funny.
and
It's
Righteous Room, the Plaza,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
in general.
You there's a story, a Japanese story about the red string, which means that's
That
like
sounds
your
familiar.
soul. Yeah, I think I've talked to y'all about it, but the red string is like when you're born, you're always tied to the perfect person for you with a red string. There's a possibility for you to have one or two soulmates, I guess is what it is. And every time you get closer, that string gets tighter and stuff like that. So possibly you guys are my red string.
Oh my goodness, that is
So sweet.
We just kept coming in contact.
string
Yeah.
theory.
Missing.
Yeah.
It's like my husband and I too. We just kept missing each other.
yeah.
We should have
yeah.
met a long time ago.
That is that not like scientific string theory, but there is like a string theory, like I guess
Yeah.
in like I know Capri hates this, like the manifestation
Yeah,
world, kind
yeah,
of in a
yeah.
way, in
Right.
that kind of realm a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there's one like
Yeah.
that too. It's like you keep passing each other by, though.
Right.
You know, that's so interesting.
But it's really when I meet people that I vibe with, I usually stick around that. You
Yeah.
know, it's when they're fellow people that are a lot like me. They love the same things. I think everybody's like that, right?
Just
and
as
I
ADD
when
as
I met
us.
you guys, I was like, oh yeah, they're my people. You know.
Oh,
And I felt like I wanted to be a part of what you were doing and celebrate and support you guys any way I could.
thank you so,
so-
much.
Oh, you're so
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Now we're like,
Yeah.
support you, girl.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
That sounded so
I'm
cheesy.
trying to make things
girl.
happen.
You are making things
Yeah.
happen.
That's a
Yeah.
long time coming.
Let's tell the listeners who Shannon Ford Thompson is. For those that do not know, you wear many hats. Like you mentioned, you are the Buried Alive Film Festival director, owner. This is a film festival that's been around for 17 years, and you took it over 2 years ago. 3
This
years
year.
ago?
This year was
Oh,
my
this
first
year.
year. Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. I took it over from Blake Myers and Lucas Godfrey. They started, like you said, 17 years ago. And it has been I've been in that festival about 10 years ago, I want to say.
Okay.
With a music video, which was really fun. And I've just always loved Buried Alive.
Yeah.
And we've been friends for a long time, and they've just grown in their careers and they're taken off. Like Lucas is working on The Walking Dead in Spain,
Wow.
right next to Greg Nicotero, and Blake Myers is working on all kinds of incredible films and making awards and stuff like that. So when they said they would like to move on to bigger, better things, they asked me if I wanted to be a part of this, and I
Wow.
said, yeah, I'd love to help. And they said, no, we want you to take it over. So I was like, let's do it.
You're the
Let's do
captain now.
Yeah. There was another guy, Josh, that was also involved last year, and he was a big part of that. And now he has stepped into the programming director side, and now I'm the festival director itself.
Was that something like I'm learning as far as just what me and Dana done as far as expanding horizons besides just recording this podcast together of doing first? It's like, hey, you want to do this? I'm like, sure, fuck it. Yeah, I don't know. Was it like that as being a director for a horror film festival? Have you ever done anything like that before?
Not for a horror film festival, but I have put on a lot of music events. I love the arts in any and every
Yes.
way.
Yeah, because you're a
Absolutely.
photographer and
Yeah.
like you're
Painter,
always
sculptor.
Yeah.
I love
you
all
do
that.
it
around.
all.
Yeah, I just art has just kind of saved my life. It's a great place, especially music and film. It's a
Yeah.
place I can dive into when I just don't feel so good.
Yeah.
That unfresh feeling.
Like, I'm gonna call it that when I'm feeling like shitty about
Yes.
something, when I'm PMSing or
Yeah.
somebody pisses me
You
off. I feel unfresh about this situation.
Feeling very unfresh. It's a great way to step away from the drama, the problems in life, and
Yeah.
just deep dive into something else.
Into
for
a creative
change.
bubble.
Yeah, and have you ever gone into a movie and you've, like, maybe someone passed away or you've just had the horrible breakup, and then you go into a movie and you actually disappear.
Yeah.
Your life disappears for that hour and a half.
So therapeutic.
Yeah. And you walk out and it takes a minute when you get into that, you go from the dark into the light, you know, that feeling of the sun shining and bright and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
you go outside
I'm
again.
blind. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like a weird warm awakening of, oh God, there's my life again. But the power of being able to pull you away from your trauma
Yeah.
is freaking amazing to me.
Escape your trauma for a
Yeah.
minute, for an hour or so.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I like horror so much, is because it is very therapeutic in a way. It's that anger, it's that love, it's that passion. It takes every feeling that you have. But on the filmmaking side of things, I really like how fun it is.
Yeah.
Like, horror has this great way. I mean, you can tell horror with many different ways, but when horror goes into that deep effects part of it, it's so fucking fun. Right? It's so fun. Like, you think Evil Dead Rise. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
amazing film. Watching and hearing about the FX, about how they had to build the moms, you know, when the children blended into the mom and stuff like
Yes.
that, how they had to wear like this harness and stuff.
Oh, I didn't even look that up.
Well, actually, I met Gabriella, who played Bridget, the daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was telling us all about it. And it was such a cool thing. It's like they legitimately were in a harness, all put together.
I love
And
practical effects.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I really appreciated the amount of blood they used on that set to really, as a recurring theme in all the Evil Deads, just being,
Yes.
you know, yeah, that's awesome.
The wood chipping scene is
I'm glad they had that. I was like, wow, they
Yeah.
brought it all, they
They
brought it all
had
together.
to,
They
yeah.
had to have
So
it.
good.
yeah. The Evil Dead franchise, even from the very beginning, has always been like that ride I've always enjoyed, where it's got a little bit of humor in it. You know,
Yeah.
it goes fear, scary, and then we come into this laughter and we come back down, and then we relax for a minute, then we're climaxing again into fear, and it's that adrenaline is amazing. It's so much fun.
Well, speaking of, because Evil Dead has been around a long time, when did your love of horror begin at a young age? What like films impacted you that made you say, I fucking like this, you know?
Actually, I would probably say that my first
Not
real,
necessarily film, it could be book, whatever. you
yeah. I would actually, it was a film that got me into horror as a child, which was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Hell
Which was
the same.
Freddy Krueger, that whole, I mean, this is a child predator. And it's funny because like, it's weird that so many people will dress up like him and all this kind of stuff. And then it's like, this dude is a child predator. Like, why are we doing this here? But there was something about the idea, the humor about Freddy Krueger.
Oh, yes. He's a menace.
Yeah.
He's like a charming menace in a
Yeah.
way.
Charming.
Maybe not
It's
charming,
creepy to
but
me.
he had his
Yeah.
moments at
You know,
least.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really did fall in love with Freddy Krueger. I'm not Freddy Krueger, but Robert Englund. Let me correct
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I liked Robert Englund a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when he played Phantom of the Opera, I was so impressed by him.
I didn't know he did that.
Oh God, that's one
I
you
saw
should
that.
check
Yeah.
out. Yeah, that's
what
one
year
you should
did he
check
do that?
out. I know it was shortly after Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh, it was back
I
in
wanna
the
say it was the
80s. Okay.
80s. Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, maybe. I'm gonna say
remember right
92,
now.
maybe. But he was. It was really great. It was. My mother loved Phantom of the Opera too, so it was kind
It's
of
a
like
nice
that
tie-in
mashup.
there.
Yeah.
What about when you got older? what inspired you to start making horror art for yourself?
Wow. I don't know. Honestly, I just wanted to make movies.
Mm-hmm.
It starts actually, my dad used to take, my stepfather and I had to bond. My mother said, go take her out and bond with your stepdaughter. So he would take me to the one place he thought I would love, which was the movies as a teenager growing up. And my dad didn't know how to talk to me.
Mm-hmm. Most dads don't. I feel like.
Yeah.
Mine was opposite.
Weird.
I was my dad's best friend, and I really didn't know how to talk to my mom.
Yeah, it's we just relate better with different people, and I was my mom's best friend. So, but she was really trying to make that relationship work.
Yeah.
So the only way he knew how to do that was movies. And that was really the only way I would talk to him, was when after that movie we would get in the car and he'd go, what did you think of that movie? And then I would start talking about the technicals of things. Like we saw Star Wars together.
Yeah.
I saw Blair Witch with my mom actually, but we just started talking about the technicals of things. Like, I don't know about that lighting, or did you see this weird mistake? I was picking on things that I saw that didn't make sense or was really cool. How did you think they did that?
Yeah.
And then my dad would start this conversation like, how do you think they did that? Well, maybe they used a harness and stuff.
Yeah.
So he started talking about how they were making
How were they
films.
making the film?
Yeah, and I got really interested in that. I was also an artist. I used to draw all the time. I was way better when I was a kid. I could pick anything out and just make it look so detailed.
Nice.
That I went to an internship over the summertime to Disney.
Ooh.
And after high school, I was picked up for an internship to go to Disney. As a matter of fact, my friends put Disney ears on my graduation cap because I was leaving a couple weeks after that to go to Florida.
Wow.
And it really probably, my life would have been totally different if I had have gone. But my mother was very sick and she was dying, so I stayed home.
Wow.
And my life kind of went a different way. I was wanting to get into animation and art and stuff like that. And then I think I stayed home for a couple of years and had to work. And then I started going to the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Nice.
And I took film for a little while. I made a couple short films, which were horror, coincidentally. I just chose horror. I didn't choose anything else. I just feel like the storytelling is easier that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like I can scare you better than I can make you fall in love.
Yeah.
Or
I
make
don't
you
know,
cry or
just to
something.
me, yeah,
Yeah.
right? And I just always felt like that was just low-hanging fruit. And I hate to say it that way. It sounds very lazy of me. But I just gravitated to something that was easy for me to do.
Yeah.
That may not be easier for someone else's. It's their journey. It's whatever they choose is better for them.
With those, the first projects that you did for the art, what inspiration drew you from, I guess, directors that you've seen where you're like, I really like how he does it? Or is it all you, baby? Or like, I really like what I saw there. Maybe I should try it with myself.
When I realized I wanted to be a director, the first time I realized I started falling in love with directors, and this is so me. When I say this, it's so me. I almost think that you guys know me well enough to know who I'm going to say.
I'm not a good listener. You have to tell me again.
Very nice.
I don't blame you. I babble sometimes.
It's my short-term memory.
Blah, blah, blah. So I really, really fell in love with Tim Burton. I saw Beetlejuice and I was enamored.
How old were you when you first saw it for the first time?
When it came
Ooh,
out,
I'm
right?
trying
We
to
all were young.
remember. I was in the theater. I got to see what year that came out.
Did
So,
the original Beetlejuice come out?
it was late. Yeah, 1988.
Yeah.
Good call. Yep. So I graduated in 95. That puts me somewhere around in my early teens, before like 10, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right around there. So, but what I loved about it wasn't necessarily Beetlejuice or the humor. I mean, I liked it, but was the set design.
Yeah,
this
so
other
cool.
Hell yeah.
world.
Do you
we
think
were
the new?
going
Okay,
into.
so as we're doing this episode, the new Beetlejuice is about to be in theaters officially. You saw the advanced screening the other night, so
and I feel bad. I don't want to say anything
Okay.
about
I don't-
it.
I- yeah.
because
I
I
don't
think
want to say anything
Yeah.
either,
Okay.
even when we see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe It won't influence our opinion of it.
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
gonna see it.
For me, sequels like Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, other films like Nightmare on Elm Street, those kinds of things, sequels to me a lot of times are like candy. So if you're going to give me something like that, you're going to give me another franchise, you're going to spend $5 million on giving me Ghostbusters 4 or 5 or 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, give it to me. Even if it's bad, I want to see it. You know, I just love everything about it. I love this world, and I love to get into that world every time. So when Beetlejuice came and I got a chance to see it, I was just happy to be in that world again.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how I look at things when it comes to film. But coming from a film director nowadays, I felt like there was too much studio involvement. I felt like it wasn't truly Tim Burton in a way. It was Tim Burton in every way, but in the same aspect of you could just see some studio influences in there.
Oh, wow.
And it felt a little all over the place. But again, I wasn't unhappy with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It
let's leave
left
it at
me
that.
with,
Yeah.
if you give me another Beetlejuice, I'll be like, hell yeah.
Okay. Can you at least tell me this? Do you
Yeah.
feel with the way it ended that it was leading to that we would have another one
I think it will just from the title.
from the title? Okay.
Because you got to say Beetlejuice name three
times.
And it was only
Yeah.
two.
So
for
the
that
title
makes
was
perfect sense.
Beetlejuice,
Playing off
Beetlejuice.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Beetlejuice. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
they will. And I think opening weekend, they're going to hit box office tops.
Oh, yeah.
It'll get close to Deadpool, I think. I have a feeling.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not, but cause
I like Deadpool. I'm just like the oversaturation of Marvel and DC. Like,
Yeah. It's a little overplayed these days, but I really do like Deadpool. It was
He's the
funny.
only one I like from Marvel.
I mean,
is
I watched
Deadpool.
it.
He's
It's,
hilarious.
you know,
I
it's
like
not-
that
don't
adult
grab-
humor. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's so good, Ryan Reynolds.
So funny. Yeah.
I don't have
I'm a
time to
fan.
watch them all. I have a partner who like doesn't like any of that. So when I'm not watching horror, I'm watching like someone like, I don't know, stuck in a crevice of a mountain. That stuff like that, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
survivalist
Yeah.
stuff. Or
I do like that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm one of those women that likes to watch crime drama and goes to sleep to crime.
Same.
Me too.
I listen to true crime in my podcast all
Law
day
and
at work.
Order, everything.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that stuff.
I had to calm down with that, especially when you're not, the nuts and bolts are a little loose up here. And
I'm with you.
there was a Law and Order episode where like this girl was like living someone's wall and they would like feed her. She's been there for years. So when
Yeah.
I went to bed, I was dreaming about
Oh God, you
being-
do that though.
being in bed, like living in the wall, and some guy was like, "Here's your Subway sandwich. Shut up, little girl." Shh, you know, like just
Oh my
weird.
God, it's like people under the stairs.
Yeah, so I have to
Yeah.
like I watch my horror and then I'll watch like 3 minutes of like something bubbly and fun. So
I have to do
don't
that,
I
too.
don't make my mind like
It
fuck me
depends
up in my sleep.
Yeah. It depends on the horror. Like,
Same.
Yeah.
I can go
Um,
right to sleep.
yeah.
After I watch Where Evil Lurks, I just went to sleep.
Do you think
And I don't dream about it.
Though, for some
That
reason?
one's different. That one messed
Do you think
me
I'll
up.
like it?
Oh, you never
Evil-
saw it?
When Evil Lurks? No, I haven't watched
Oh,
I haven't watched it either, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
I think I want to watch
It's-
that too.
it's worth seeing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's good.
It does
It's
look
just-
like something. That,
I feel like the trailer was a little bit better.
Well,
Like,
speaking
a little
of
scary, but
film that just came out, what do you think are like the top films that you've seen so far for 2023, or things that you're looking forward to for this upcoming year as far as horror?
there's a new film that's out on Netflix right now that I'm just finishing up called The Terror.
2024. God bless.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. The Terror is. I was really impressed by. Like I said, I love being immersed in different worlds, and the fear that's in that film is monstrous. It goes from creature to monster, and it's really cool. Oh man!
Do you
I've
have
got-
a particular favorite genre, like subgenre?
You mean like besides horror?
No,
Or
like
the
a type of horror.
You know, I don't know if I really have a favorite because every time I see a film, there's something unique and different that I really like out of it. So that's a really hard thing to answer.
Gotcha.
Because I like Evil Dead Rise. I liked Army of Darkness. I do like this 80s horror with humor. So I love this this feeling of like Lost Boys. I liked Fright Night. It's a big one. I love Fright Night. And then we go into like, like Creep Show, stuff like that. I Poltergeist, that kind of horror is what I really love.
Okay.
Like Poltergeist, do you remember that guy? What was the preacher? He scared the crap out
The
of me.
second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the preacher.
Really?
He was scary
It's,
to me.
that's my friend said the same thing.
You're
and I was
all
like,
gonna die.
That really
they didn't
creepy
scare me that much.
looking
I don't know.
dude. Yeah.
He just reminded me
Yeah.
of one of my neighbors like watering his plants. So I don't know. So I don't
He
know.
had a face.
Have you ever had a man screaming, old man, coming into your screen porch screaming with a weird Amish hat? You're all gonna die.
Oh my God, Poltergeist! I grew up Jehovah's Witness, and I had a friend. Her mother found out that her uncle took her to see Poltergeist, and she's like on the payphone, "Mom, I went to see Poltergeist. I didn't want to do it. It was so horrible." When she got home, she took all of her clothes and burned them in a pile
Oh my god.
just to get rid of whatever. Yeah.
Since we're talking about scary movies, a movie that I saw when I was young made me pee my pants.
No way.
Yeah, seriously. That's the only film that's ever
Wait.
did that.
From the 80s,
no.
70s.
I'm going to say 90s.
Peed your pants.
Wait, how old were
Peed
you when you peed your
I was
pants?
pretty young. I was
Okay.
pretty. I can't remember what age. When I tell you, you'll know what year. But
Okay.
Oh, I can't
Um,
even
What is
think.
it? What is it?
Peed your pants.
I
Okay.
I was in Florida with my parents, and my cousins wanted to take me out to a horror movie, and I was young enough to not quite remember the situation, but for some reason it's one of those trucks that only fit 2 people in the front.
Sure.
But I'm like 10, I think, or 8,
Yeah, you just
somewhere
squeeze
around
in
there. And I just like, I want to ride in the back. That's
Oh,
cool.
shit.
And they said, well, if you ride in the
love
back
that in the
there, you're
80s.
going to have to ride in the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't think anything about it. I didn't think it was
Oh,
going
I
to
know
be
what you're gonna say.
nighttime in Florida.
Yes.
And then we're talking about the countryside of Florida.
Hell yeah.
So where there's
That's
no
scary
lights.
as hell.
Yeah. So I'm in the back of this truck after a horror film, and I ended up peeing my pants.
That's scary.
It was I was that
Jeepers
scared.
Creepers?
No, but you're close.
Jeepers Creepers. That's
You're
Yeah,
close.
they're driving
That's
through a
2001
corn.
or something.
Yeah, it's before that, but
Anyway.
it's close though. You wanted me to tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Candyman.
Candyman. All right.
Candyman scared me.
Nice.
Because also they were telling me we're gonna go home and we're gonna
black
say
people
it in the
scary? I'm just
bathroom.
Oh, fuck that. Nope.
No, they were saying they were gonna go home and
No.
do it, and I was so scared that
Yeah,
while
I
you're
remember.
sleeping, Candyman's gonna come in and
We would do that at school. We would
fucking
never
cousins.
say it's 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We would always do
Or
it in the
3
school
times.
bathroom.
I think it's 3
Three.
times.
3?
It's 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Bloody
Okay.
Mary was 3 times.
Yep.
That's the rule of 3 that I've been talking about. Like the rule of 3 is everything has some kind of 3 in relation to it. Things in movies will repeat 3 times.
Okay.
So like Bloody Mary, you say her name 3 times.
Yeah.
Candyman, you say his name 3 times. Beetlejuice, you say his name 3 times.
Yeah.
If something happens, they do it 3 times. And it's interesting, the rule of 3. It is that just enough of repetitiveness to be scary or a problem or whatever, but it's also not too much to be overdrawing. So.
Okay.
Tell us about your company, Rock with Siren Productions.
Yes. Wow. Where can I begin? Wow.
As little
it's a weird,
or as much as
It's a weird
you want.
story how that one happened because I got out of, I dropped out of college because I had to take care of my mother, and I went into design. And I became a web developer and a web designer, but web development and programming is never fun, and I needed to have some kind of creative outlet, so I started doing photography. I accidentally fell into my parents' trait, which they used to take live pictures of bands. Like they took pictures of Bruce Springsteen and
Nice.
Janis Joplin.
That's cool.
And, yeah, they were famous. They were really incredibly talented. And so I ended up just going to bars and photographing musicians, and
Yeah.
I actually ended up taking pictures of like Brian Setzer and Waylon and Shooter Jennings, his son.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just so that happened. So I started taking photos of music. and I realized that people were wanting to pay me to do the work after a while. So I decided to come up with a name, and I didn't want to use my name for some reason.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know why. I just didn't want to use my name. So I love rock and roll, and I also love the story of mythology and the sirens. So I used to always think that music and film and movies draw you with the sound of their voice, like a siren, like a mermaid.
Yeah.
So rock and roll, you rock with the siren.
Nice.
That's where the name
That's
came
cool.
from. So I was doing photography for a long time. It was photos of siren. And then it changed to rock with siren just because it was fun.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. And then actually somebody told me that because I dyed my hair purple, that maybe I was the siren.
Yeah, I was gonna say, were you?
Yeah, and then
the
it kind of
siren?
just changed that now it's rock with siren is I'm the mermaid that and everybody comes to rock
Yeah.
with me. It's
Hey,
I don't know.
nice.
I don't know. It's goofy, but it just stuck, and they started calling me the siren. Like people that meet me, they either call me Shenanigans or the siren or other names I probably shouldn't repeat. But anyway.
I have to agree with that. I'm amazed and kind of like just amazed. Like I've met people, I guess, networking or professionally, or just like when we go out and meet other people who do horror. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll hit you up. But for some reason, I felt like our friendship is like really, like you're saying, that string is really tightened over the short time that we've known you.
Yeah.
And I think that's
We
definitely
just
a perfect.
met you like
yeah.
this. No, was it this year? Maybe
I
late
think
last
so.
year.
I don't
We
remember.
like officially met in
It was
person
around
this
December.
year, I think.
December?
So, yeah, I think it was around December.
So how long was that?
It was after I moved into this house. I know that.
Oh wow. Yeah, times really fly. Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you, I just find people I vibe with, and then if I like what they're doing, I just want to support them. It's everybody says I'm super kind and generous and things like that, but it's not that. It's just that I really want people to succeed, and I just want to do whatever I can to help them and be a part of their lives and have fun.
Absolutely. And I think you definitely have also extended that with, I guess, the Atlanta Horror Society as far as like, because she was telling, she featured us in the article and, announced it. Like, you want us to be a community and highlight. And so,
Yeah,
You're also the president of the Atlanta Horror Society as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Another hat that you wear.
yeah.
So I'll tell you how I started that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's hear that.
It's a weird story because Buried Alive, I just took it over this year after this last festival we had at the Plaza, 2023. And I just felt like I really wanted to take this. I used to be in marketing too. I really wanted to take this to a whole new level, but still keep its family environment. And I really loved horror. I really love indie horror. And I just want to celebrate these artists that are coming up with these really creative talent. I just want to see what other people are doing and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So for selfish reasons, there was a guy I met. His name was Cole. He started the Atlanta Horror Society initially in Marietta in a library. And he only had one meeting. And unfortunately, it didn't go very well because it was just in a library and it was in Marietta and it was hard to get to and stuff like that.
Is that where they're screening the Babadook, or is that something?
We were screening
Yes.
the Babadook, yeah. And he wasn't there the second meeting that was there, and I kind of took it over. So we were talking, and then he just quit. He just thought it wasn't working. And I said, well, I know why it's not working.
I was really looking forward to it because I
Yeah.
love discussing film. Like
Yeah.
after watching it,
Right. And I said, I know why it's not working. You're calling it, I mean, we had a conversation. It was like, you're calling it the Atlanta Horror Society, but you are in Marietta. You're having it at a time that's unrealistic for people to
6
get
With
there.
Atlanta traffic. Yeah, that's why I could never make it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And you can't really watch horror films in a library.
Yeah.
So
Was it just like a free venue he was looking
yeah,
at?
yeah, he worked at the library. He's a
Is it
great
so?
guy.
It's like
the guy's
when-
great.
Is it
though.
in a back room or like when other people are walking around studying, doing things?
It was in a room that had windows, and you could see the people walking around reading, but we were still in a private location.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he had a great idea, and then I just called him about it the third meeting, and he said it wasn't working, so I just stopped it. And I was like, well, that's a shame. I really think that you could do something with this.
Yeah.
And I asked him, do you want me to take it over? And he said, yeah, if you want to do that, you can. And I said, well, you should at least be part of it with me, because I never want to just take something from anybody.
Right.
And he says, well, I'll try to come if I can. But I said, well, what I'm going to do is make it a part of Buried Alive, because I felt like some kind of event that is monthly where the community of talented artists or horror enthusiasts could get together was a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
So I've always given him credit to come back, but he just can't make it up there and all that kind of stuff. So it just became mine. And then that's where I met I actually, oddly enough, was going through social media, and I found the Mambo Zombie, and I saw that really cool pink coffin door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Tell
I
us what
was wondering
Mambo
how that
Zombie
came to play.
is.
Yeah, I just saw that online, and I was like, I wanted to have this. I've always wanted to have a horror restaurant or a horror themed coffee shop all my life.
Yeah.
And then I saw this horror themed tiki bar in the middle of Atlanta, not but 2 miles from the plaza. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, I need an opening night party for Buried Alive.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I
It's a
want.
wonderful venue.
Yeah, it is. It's really
Super
cool.
In a
cool
very
in there.
authentic area of the
Yeah.
city, it'll get you that much. If you
Yeah.
want to argue with a homeless guy before you go in, you can do that.
Yes, definitely.
If you want to worry about your car, you're up there, we can do that.
yeah, the area is not all that great, but
I kind of like it though. It's like the part of Atlanta that hasn't changed, and I feel comforted by that.
yeah, it's got
It's
this
like a strip
urban
of bars
feel.
too,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, it is.
and it wasn't
you're
always
right.
like that.
You remember bar hopping in Buckhead back in the day?
Not in Buckhead.
Yeah,
I didn't.
we didn't in
I didn't-
Buckhead, but I know what
I
you
did a
mean.
couple times, but yeah,
Yeah.
it does have that vibe. It really does, and but it's a speakeasy, and I thought that was really cool. And I just honestly went there. I was actually not even thinking about the Atlanta Horror Society. I just wanted to have the opening night there. So when I came in, and I'm sitting there thinking, wouldn't the Atlanta Horror Society be better here? Because it's a horror themed tiki bar.
Exactly.
And wouldn't that
serve
work better?
booze.
Yeah, we can have fun. And they had a TV screen in there.
Perfect. Yeah.
So we can watch movie, network, have fun. It's just like everything came together. And I asked Cole if he wanted to be vice president, and he said no, he did not. He can't get up there. It's you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it happened. So every month I've been picking films that I know would be of interest to people that I love.
Yeah, I
And
love
the first
that,
one
yeah.
we started was The Thing.
Yeah. We were there. So we were there for the first one.
Yeah, you were there for the first
That's
official
awesome.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, we got there late. That's what we do. But it is one of my favorites, and you did an excellent job.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you have
I think-
trivia.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah,
that's what we started doing. I
drink
was like,
specials.
yeah, the bartender, like I don't have to pay to be there.
Oh,
You know,
That's
it's been
nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. Well, I
Wow.
bring them a lot of people on
Yeah.
a
that's
Thursday
what- yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll custom make a drink that is inspired by the film. So
Nice.
they made like one for The Thing and then one for Alien, and it's really cool. I go up there early and I take pictures of the drink and I do all this ad work and stuff, and I put the trivia in. I wasn't thinking people would love the trivia. But
Really?
That's
yeah,
really
That's like a-
popular.
a popular thing.
yeah,
right?
that's the reason why people are coming.
I mean,
Yeah.
trivia is just like every bar I go into with this. It's a trivia night.
Yeah.
And people are living for it. So
Yeah.
You
Horror
have good ass
trivia, yeah.
prizes too. That
Yeah.
are all like film related. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get the prizes related to the film that we're
Yeah.
watching at the time. Sleepaway Camp, this last one was so hard. There was nothing out there online. I had to go to Etsy and there wasn't enough
So
time.
correct me if I'm wrong. It's about a trans insane asylum person who breaks out and like goes and tries to.
Oh no.
No, is that the first? There's one that has a. It's supposed to be a trans character, correct?
It is.
Like,
It is a
slut shaming the campers for sleeping around. Am I wrong?
No, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. Well, I'm sure everybody has seen Sleepaway Camp by now, but it's about a family who is in a boating accident.
I don't know why I laughed. I'm sorry. I always
God,
laugh
you're a
when people die.
monster.
I told her I was laughing during the Titanic. I'm sick.
Monster.
I'm laughing that you're laughing at that.
Anyway,
Like, what?
these people are dying.
Why are we dying? Why am I laughing?
It's
They
just,
kicked you out of the theater, probably.
finally, it just wasn't me for a change. All these white people on the boat. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Cut that out.
No, that's funny. That's really funny. But no, it's about a father and a daughter die in a boating accident, and a child lives, and you find out that the mother is so heartbroken. I think they go to live with their aunt. The aunt is crazy. They send them off to summer camp to try to help them break out of their bubble and stuff, I guess. But the kid that had lost their family has kind of lost their mind. And I've only seen it like a few times, but the girl is played by Felicia Rose, a fabulous human being. Like, you want to talk about a supporter of everything. She's just amazing. Then these killings start happening, and they're really cool kills. This guy dies from boiled oil or water, and it's bees kill another guy. And
I appreciate a different. Speaking of kill, do you have like a favorite kill in a horror movie of all time? Like,
I have to think about that one for a minute, because. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that one because I think that the kills that I like are the ones that are just super complex.
Okay.
To create, because what excites me about it is how they made something that creative and unique. So, like, for example, in Evil Dead Rise, when Bridget is running towards Stephanie, the little girl, and how they got that thing into her mouth. That was an actual contraption that was put on her head, and she was telling me about it at Georgia Pop and HorrorCon, and this contraption could kill her, actually. Yeah, it was the way it was. It was very scary. They tested it a million times, but what it was she had to sit there with her mouth open and this contraption wrapped around the back of her head, and everything got real quiet. She said the team was amazing though. But at that moment, nobody was allowed to talk and nobody was allowed to do anything, and the contraption shot out the back of her head, and you would think, why didn't they just use CGI? Why didn't they? But they really were part of practical effects then.
Yeah.
But to have a contraption like that, what if something went wrong and it shot the other way through her head? You know?
Oh, Christ.
Gosh.
So, but nothing did, and it's fascinating to hear stories like that. I mean, it's scary, but that's the kind of kills I like. That is just like, how did they do that? Like, makes you go, wow, that is gory as fuck, man.
Yes. You've done 2 projects. You were in the art department for
That's what I was going to
Selma.
bring up, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Selma 2014 and Zombieland 2009, which I believe was filmed in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
It stood out to me because those are 2 very different films. What is your role on Zombieland, and so I can get an idea of like how was it on a totally different film with that same role, like
So I'll tell you, like I said earlier, I was trying to get back out of, when I got out of college, I really kept trying to push my creativity towards film. And even though I was in photography, I always had a camera in my hand. And I just really wanted to go back to film. I've always wanted to go back to film. And even with the musicians I was filming, I was asking if I could make music videos for them for free. That's how badly I wanted to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I said, all the time my ideas were, can we make it horror? Can we make it scary?
Yeah.
And I did. I actually made a psychological horror music video called Violets in May by Hillbilly Casino. But
say that again. I want to watch.
Violets in May by Hillbilly Casino.
Okay.
I saw that on IMDb,
Nick is like a brother to me, and he actually gave me away at my wedding, which was a Tim Burton wedding, by the way.
Yes. You look gorgeous.
Thank
Yes,
ya.
I
Thank
saw
ya.
some pictures.
Thank ya. So I lived at the time, which was years ago. I lived in Madison, Georgia. And that was a really big filming town, and I knew people that knew people. Like I worked with the city and all this kind of stuff. So
Where is Madison?
it's close to Athens, Georgia.
I
so
remember.
if you go down
I did
I-20
remember that. She did tell us that. That's the
Yeah.
one
I
thing
just
I
didn't know
remember.
where it was in Georgia.
Yeah, it's if you go down
Athens.
I-20 towards Augusta,
Yeah.
you'll be there.
The cult village of dog country.
Actually, it's very.
Oh.
Go dogs.
But I knew a bunch of people that owned businesses in the town, and usually a film would come through, and they would always film there, especially Civil War films, because a lot of that was the town that Sherman didn't burn.
yeah.
So he spared that town because he said it was
Sure.
so beautiful. There's so many weird things. Anyway,
I'm sorry. It just makes me laugh. Raping, pillaging, resources.
and
You know what? I like these magnolia trees.
Let's
I'm
not burn 'em.
Like, what a weird switch. Anyway,
you
go
know what?
ahead.
No, to be honest with you, that is what I said.
You know?
What makes you're doing all these
These
horrible
horrible
things, and you just decide to leave this town? So people have also
Untouched.
said that they think that he had a friend there.
Okay.
I don't know. I almost kind of think also the town did burn down one time. So
That happens
it was
a lot.
saved from Sherman, but then it burned down later on, like a few
happens.
years later.
No fire departments, you know?
So yeah. Anyway,
Bucket.
so a lot of movies came in, and I knew people, and they said, "Hey, Shannon, you've been talking about getting into films," because I was asking people to do commercials. That's how bad I just really wanted to be in film again.
Yeah.
And Selma came in. Anyway, they
Do you want
said,
me
"Do
to-
you want to sit on set with us?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." So they let me go into the art department, and I really kind of just sat around and did some PA work.
Okay.
But also I got a chance to do some set decking and art design a little bit, but just
Interesting.
helping out.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. But because you're union, it's a union film, you can't get your name and credits for things that are not union. So that's how I
didn't know
got
that.
in there. Yeah.
I'm very curious just about you said you worked like set design, like for a film like Selma, what does that look like? What does that involve? Like the 60s hotel room lamp or something? Like what exactly?
Yeah. So in that case, they were doing like the church scene. There was
Yeah.
the church scene, and in the very beginning, and I was there for that. There was pamphlets that were around, so I was helping out with the pamphlets and setting the pamphlets outside, and just when the explosion happened, I was there for trying to push things around and just helping, honestly. So that was a great way to get involved with that, but I didn't do like a lot of stuff there.
Okay. What does that same title look like for you when you worked on Zombieland?
Zombieland was a little different. I knew the art director at the time, so I had a chance to do some design work for them. I did some BTS photography from behind the scenes kind of stuff. That is
cool.
really, a lot of people would ask me to do that for them
Okay.
because I was a photographer doing live action. So they would always want someone who can do video and photography. So that was the greatest way for me to get involved on that
How does
set.
that work? Like they pay you, or you just say, "I'll do it for free"?
I did it for free. I did it all for free because I needed that exposure and I needed to
Okay.
learn. And to me, it was probably the most thrilling experience of my life because I learned I would sit there and I would watch that director just do things and get angry at people. And the director for Selma was talking, it was like it was on TV. It was
Yeah.
really funny because he was yelling at someone about not getting his coffee in time. And I was like, dude really loves his coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Well, it's like you're yelling about something else. It's not the coffee. It's just, it's not about the coffee. With that said, as far as not getting paid to that, we've learned to we interviewed our very good friend Tashina Southard, and she was talking about like the feast and famine of all of being someone involved in art. And with that, you kind of taught us as well as, do we make art for art's sakes, or do we make it because it wants to make money? Like, when do you have the intuition to make those kind of decisions? Like, okay, I'm just gonna make this the way I want it, or I can see that this could possibly lead to other things that could lead to more exposure and more money or whatever
funding to make more
funding.
films.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I always jumped in for free to do these things because it wasn't really about making money or being a part of a
I didn't know the word.
It wasn't. It wasn't really. I can't even explain really what my draw was, but when a film came to town, I was mostly, hey, can I get on set? Can I come sit with you? Halloween with Rob Zombie's Halloween came into town, and I was pregnant with my son, like about 7 months pregnant, 8. I was pretty big, and I had a chance to speak to him very quickly, but a couple of the AD and stuff on set, they were like, we can't have you work because you're pregnant. So
your son heard in the womb.
Yeah.
I grew up on Thriller, so that put me to sleep because I was playing.
My daughter went to Cure, so she's a huge Cure fan. But anyway, sorry, I digress. So I got the chance to watch him work, and that was fascinating. They invited me back to Covington. I was in Covington and Madison, and 3 times in Covington. So that was a lot of fun. I obviously didn't do anything on set there, but I was a chance to actually be there and learn. And that's probably where I learned the most. What I really loved watching was their directing styles are so very different. Like, I mean, I went from Selma to Halloween to Zombieland to Goosebumps, and all of it was, they're so different. Some directors didn't even talk the whole entire time.
Wow.
I feel like I've heard that about directors. Like they're all so different. Like there's not like a routine they follow when they're making movies. And
I think in Scorsese films, like there's a law that you cannot change one word of the script down to the or the cough of what's in there. Like I don't know what it's called, but like some are very strict
because sometimes a script will get copyrighted, I guess.
Okay.
And when that happens, they don't really want to change it, because if they say something that has been said somewhere else, you can be set up for a lawsuit. So you don't
understand.
Yeah, you don't really want anybody to ad-lib anything. I'm kind of okay with it, in my opinion. I want to hear what you got to say, because sometimes actors will get into a moment so deep that they feel it. They are it.
Yes.
Ad lib.
Yeah. And my husband in The Hangover ad libbed the scene after this section of the vomit, and the words had escaped him of what to say.
Right.
So he just came up with something, because vomit hit his face. So what do you do? He's like a loss for words. So he's like, I can taste you in me. And it was so gross. But it was so great at the same time.
It worked.
Like, no, it was really good.
Awesome.
No, it was
That
really,
makes
really
me think
good.
of what was it? Tarantino film or Leonardo DiCaprio's This Is Not Horror related. Like he's yelling at, I guess, talking about why black people's brains are so dumb, and that's why they didn't escape. He breaks the glass and there's blood everywhere. That really happened. And he takes his bloody hand and smears it all over her face and like grabs her.
Yeah, I heard about that scene. Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Like, and they all committed to that. Like there was no cutting or anything. So that's gotta be pretty intense.
Ugh.
Since you've been on sets a lot, what have you seen as far as things that you like directors do or not? Like, do you like, I don't particularly like that, or like, is it, like notes for yourself as far as what you like and don't like about, I don't know.
What I have learned and I really like is when a director trusts the process of things. There's some directors that will micromanage things and they jump in and they like nitpick shit. You know, or they'll get take after take after take without explaining what it is they're trying to get. And it's crazy to me to see these very
Shining. I don't know.
yeah, exactly. Shining is a great example of that.
Yeah.
And the thing is like if your actor is not getting what you're wanting, then you're not being a very good director.
Yeah.
And micromanaging is not the answer for that, right?
Yeah.
So I think what I have really enjoyed and what I have learned and kind of taken on as my directing style is trust the process, trust your actors, and let them feel and become who they are supposed to be. And if they don't, let them do a couple takes the way they feel it's right. And then ask them, how did you feel about that? Do you think you can do another one? If an actor comes, if you think it's good, but the actor says, no, I think I could do it another one, then you let them do another one.
Yeah.
So you just trust the process. And that's the directing style I've really enjoyed.
I'm glad you said that because that little short that we were talking about adapting, the little thing that I felt, I was like,
Yes.
I don't know if I could do that again. It was like
Yeah.
just with my cell phone. I was like, with people around?
You know,
And you're like, no, I can make it like so isolated in there. I can leave the room. And I was like, you can do that? Directors just like leave the room and let the actor like be in there, you know? I was like, oh, that's so cool.
I think I also learned being on set. This is the one I absolutely love, which every director does this, but they do it in their own different way, is coming to the tone. And what that means is, let's say that there is a man and a woman and the woman is dying and the man is supposed to be heartbroken. And he is crying and upset, and he has to be crying and upset. I can't, as a director, walk to this man and say, you're doing that all wrong. What is wrong with you? You know what I mean?
You're
I can't.
not crying,
You're
right?
not crying enough, or you're not sad. That's not how I would be. You know, that's.
Well,
that's
I imagine
not-
some directors are like that. I
yeah,
don't know.
there are.
Yeah.
There are. And the directing style that I have really enjoyed is coming to the tone. So if I'm coming to that actor who's laying on the ground, I'm going to go lay on the ground next to them. And I'm going to lower my voice to that somber tone. And if I need them to match energies with me, so I need them to come to where I'm at so I can subliminally kind of get them to where they need to be.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that's
That's like
what's happening.
coaching them through it.
Exactly, without coaching them through it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, or if they're in that segment and it's not quite right, I need to come there with them. I'm going into their world. I'm going to come down to their level and where they're at, and we're going to have a conversation and we're going to talk about this. Because if I come to them screaming and yelling, that's not going to help.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it's laughter and I need to keep up the energy, let's say everybody cuts, right? And this is supposed to be this humorous, funny thing, and everybody's laughing and stuff. And then we cut, and somebody's going over there to fix the lighting or do something like that.
Yeah.
I got to keep the energy up.
Yeah.
So I will walk away from Video Village, and I come over there and I say, "All right, so what's going on? How do we feel about this? Are we smiling? Are we laughing? You know, this is really good." And I will constantly, I may even laugh and talk a joke or maybe jitter a little bit. If
Right.
I'm trying to keep them in that
Yeah.
tone because, and that helps when you go in from to the next take or the next scene even, to jump in and usually get that take pretty quickly. So I think that is the biggest directing style I have taken on, is coming to that. And I practice it too. I practice it. So if I have a blocking or a shot list, I go through and I say, okay, this is the emotional tone. This is emotional tone. And I also always call on set tone. Because I want my whole crew to be upset. I want my whole crew to be crying.
Everybody's
Nice.
feeling this.
Yeah, I want
Nice.
this tone, the energy in this room. If you're joking around over there,
Yeah.
that's
During
Well,
a
that's
grief
why
scene.
I don't agree with people like it's not Jessica Lange. It's another the one who played Mommy Dearest.
yes.
Okay, there's a scene of her
Joan
like
Crawford.
offset. She's like, "You're in my eye line. What are
Yeah.
you doing? I can't like." And people are like, "Oh, she's such a diva." It's like, no, I'm
No.
not gonna be in my moment where you're standing there with like a boom mic chewing gum or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I feel her. Like,
Yeah,
Dude.
whatever you
Get out
gotta,
of our eye line.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do to stay in to get your shot, then you fucking move. Fucking move out of the way if that's what she needs to get her shot. She's an actress.
Yeah.
She knows what she needs. Yeah.
This is a controversial talk with people talk about method acting. Like it's an excuse to be an asshole off
Yeah.
the camera. What do you
Or
think?
go
I've heard that.
crazy,
Like, you
yeah.
know, like for example, Jared Leto's antics on when he played Joker.
Yeah.
And
That's
doing
the big
things
one.
where
That's
he's
the big
just
story.
in the character. How do you feel about method actors?
I love this topic. I have my actress, or one of the actresses I work with all the time. She's my Johnny Depp to Tim Burton kind of gal. She's fascinating. So, she a lot of times will get into a character, and to get into that frame of mind, if it's a depressed character, like lost her son or something like that, it takes her some time. It overwhelms her head after the fact for her to get back into herself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So, she's just sad and depressed, and she's gone through these emotions. She's really taken these emotions on. And I think when it comes to method acting, when we take on emotions, sometimes that turns us into the person we should be for the film, but shouldn't be outside the world.
I mean,
Yeah.
the brain's powerful. It's going to believe what you're telling it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I understand the thought process of method acting, where we continue to bring fear into someone else, like Shelley Duvall
Yeah.
in The Shining. I think a lot of times that he was being, the takes and stuff were abusive. Why?
Yeah.
I think he did that on purpose to
Her
make her
explanation of it was very gracious and made sense, I guess.
Was
Just far
gracious.
as like going through the highs of the takes, and you
Yeah.
just come to this place where her explanation was, it made a lot of sense. I don't know if she's just being super gracious, but yeah,
she
I saw,
usually is, yeah,
you know. But
or was.
I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis, I don't know. I love these guys. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, but
I mean, method acting is great if you need to get into that headspace, but it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because, like, if you're getting into the mind of a serial killer and you're trying to make actions in your mind mentally to be in that space of a serial killer, yeah, you may be a great actor, but you're going to take that home.
yeah.
You're going to take that home. You're going to start acting like that because it's very hard to get out of that headspace. When we start to abuse others outside of anything, no matter what it is you're doing, that's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto should have been sued.
I don't know if he was. I don't know.
What did he
something
do?
like
He
killed
mailed-
rats.
I think he mailed Margot Robbie like dead
Margot.
rats or something. What is it?
Oh, I did.
Margot Robbie.
Margot
yeah.
Robbie like a dead rat
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, he was
Oh my
he was
God.
trying to make
Scare her.
them be afraid of him. But even in the Joker, his method acting, the Joker was crazy, but in that story, he was in love with her still. So it wasn't like the Joker to.
Well, I didn't understand. I
that.
get
Yeah.
kind of confused with the takes and lens
Yeah.
of the Batmans and the Jokers when they're all just separate stories of one universe. So
Yeah.
I don't know the take on this particular Joker. I saw it and liked it,
yeah.
but yeah, I can't
Yeah.
really speak on that.
I think that when we get to the points when we're abusing others, it's just wrong, just wrong, and sending a dead animal of any kind, insects or anything, is just abuse. It's just abuse, and should have no tolerance in anything in life.
Well, not to excuse the actor, but that's what I'm saying is like when people carry home being a serial killer, and are they doing things that they think is not wrong because they're this person that they're portraying?
Yeah, that's absolutely the case. So you have to trust in your actors that they're going to be able to separate that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like at work, right? It's
Yeah.
work-life balance. If I go to work and I have an abusive boss, he's going to put me in this headspace all day, and I'm going
Yeah.
to be a different person. If
Oh,
I come
yeah.
home, I can't put that back on
Can't
my
turn-
spouse.
Yeah.
Well, anything if we all from being children, we just know life doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
From you know what my parents carry home from them, what they
Yeah.
take it out on their kids.
Yeah.
I think it's human nature, actually.
Well, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. But the thing is that that's what we have to stop.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have to be in control of ourselves. There has to be some amount of responsibility that you don't abuse others. And when we get to that point of, method acting and you're abusing someone, then maybe you should stay at a hotel if you need to stay in there.
Something.
And stay away from people so you can stay in your
Isolate.
headspace.
Yeah.
If you think about the other Joker, the best Joker ever was Heath Ledger.
Ledger.
And
I think Joaquin's a very close second to it. I think he equals that
I
personally.
really
very
liked Jack Nicholson, actually. I really...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I loved him.
I thought they're all three were great.
I thought they
Heath
were really
Ledger.
good. But Heath Ledger actually also took on depression.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the details, but I'm sure he took that character home very well. That was part of, you know, his downfall, I guess.
Yeah.
Even with
Yeah.
like Evan Peters, who played Jeffrey Dahmer in Dahmer, like
Yeah,
that
was
messed
another
him up
story.
for a minute too.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
then I feel like we didn't see him in anything for a while. It's almost, I mean, I don't know why personally, but I
No,
feel
he's
like
always
he just had to,
acting.
like,
He's doing
step
easy
away
dumb
for-
roles, like for DC Con, like, you know,
Is he?
stupid roles. You don't have to think about anything. Just put a suit on.
No.
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
I love Evan
he
Sorry,
just-
not sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
it's a mental break from the heavy roles he does, which are so well in AHS.
Well, I'll tell you, he was very believable, and I appreciate whatever tone and way he had to get into that
Yeah, exactly.
character
Yeah.
to make it believable to me.
Yeah.
But sometimes mental health can really deep dive into something, and you get stuck there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Heath Ledger.
it's dangerous for yourself, and it's dangerous for other people around you. And
I'm
we
sure.
have to learn
Yeah.
to have some kind of responsibility.
I'm sure, like, since we're learning about having a community as far as what we do as artists, that I'm sure there is a lot of methods or things or tips that I guess actors have learned to, like, how to, like, shake off those dark kind of characters after filming all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, there is I did read about what method actors or people that have played some really difficult roles, what they do. And they for example, they go through it's a sound therapy. So if you go to like a beach, you can't be with family members. You can't be with children.
Gwyneth Paltrow did that shit. She got on an island with nothing in a book, or something.
But sound therapy really is
Yeah.
something, because people with ADD, they listen to a type of tone,
Yeah.
and it can
Yeah.
really help. Sound therapy is really
Like
good to
a
break
certain
that up.
hertz or
Yeah.
maybe not beta, or I forget which waves or whatever, because I go on Spotify when I'm like trying to journal or something or
Yeah.
focus, and I'll put on like, it's like a binaural beats or something.
Yeah.
That's certain, whatever.
I think it might be helpful, but you know, like I said, it's just I feel like that's the reason why Hollywood has a difficult time staying in relationships together, is because they get into these actors and personalities, they become different people, that you start to lose sight of who you really are.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I was like, who would you like to see attempt horror who's not known for horror? Like as an actor or a singer or something. Like, I think that person should like fucking...
Or even director.
Yeah, anybody like who's not known for horror that you think would be very good at it.
Well, okay,
Or
so
be
I don't know
interesting.
if this will count, but one of my favorite directors is James Gunn. He's done horror though. He did Slither, and I actually did not know he did Slither. I felt really dumb not knowing.
You
that.
I
told
felt
us that
dumb.
the other day
I
or
felt dumb
today
that-
or something. I
That
forgot.
Kevin
And I was
Smith
like,
did
huh.
Tusk. I
Yeah.
thought it was a different Kevin
I
Smith.
didn't know either.
Yeah.
I was like, they
Yeah,
can't be
until-
talking about Kevin Smith. It's just another guy named Kevin Smith. I was like, oh, I feel stupid.
No,
he did that.
He jumped
Yeah.
into horror and comedy at the same time. That actually was
Chef's Kiss.
it's crazy
beautiful.
that he did Tusk too, because I don't think that was his finest, but you know,
I liked it a lot. I know people may disagree with it, and so did our audience attendance.
I
But
liked it.
I
I know
liked
for
it.
horror.
I really
Yeah.
liked it. Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's just fucking weird and gross. I like stuff
Yeah.
like
It is-
that.
I think the end of it was just hard for me to take with the whole "fight me, walrus."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
That was
but
fucked up.
it's just what terrifies me is the coming back 1 year later. It's like, oh my
That
Oh
you
my
know
God.
what?
His
That I
eyes.
agree. That was scary.
Taking it that's like this
He
person
can't
is
talk.
fucking living as a hybrid walrus
for the rest of his
for his
life.
life.
And he can't.
And they
tell
gave
you
him a
anything.
fish.
Yeah. And he
That is
ate it as a
horrifying.
human.
Yeah.
Because he's not really a walrus, but he's a human.
Like, can I have a
I don't know.
cheeseburger instead? God,
And he's
I don't want
crying
raw
too.
food.
Did you see he's crying there?
Yes.
And it's like, Kevin Smith has got this crazy talent that's like an unusual talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved him since I saw Clerks.
Oh, yeah.
And he has this in-depth way of seeing stories that other people can't see. And he just deep dives into a story that is unusual and different. And his conversations, his dialogue is brilliant every single time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even the films that
It was
weren't
very
so good.
believable. I hate when I watch a film, I can tell like someone wrote this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a natural conversation.
Yeah.
The words sound good and I get the points you're making, but this is not how people talk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Jersey Girl was a
I didn't see that. It's the J-Lo
haven't
movie,
seen
right?
it.
yeah,
either.
yeah, and everybody said it's a terrible movie. I kind of agree, but
I just remember when saying
But the
time
thing
for boom
is-
boom or something she says to Ben
Yeah.
Affleck. I don't know.
But like I said, I just love Kevin Smith's dialogue and the way he writes. Even it might have been a bad movie, but at the same time, it's again like candy to me to be able to. I wish I could write like that. I wish I could write dialogue.
I just got a taste of
That's deep like that.
We're not saying anything about because we can't talk about it, but like I got a dose of the labyrinth of your brain of how
Welcome.
it works and
Yes.
bravo.
Do you need help getting out?
Yeah. no, you're like, oh, I wish you could be
I
as,
like
as
being
good as
lost
writer
there.
as that, but I
Thanks.
think you're absolutely are. You're articulating a vision that
Yeah.
when you're telling us, and she talked for a long time in a good way. I could visualize everything that you were telling me and the emotions behind it, and I was on for the ride, and I can't wait to see it to fruition.
Yeah.
Do you want to
I
talk
really
a little
do.
bit about
Yeah, I
your
Or what you can talk about it, or
your
No.
feature film?
Yeah.
First feature film.
Yeah, it'll be my first feature film. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a 1980s gothic horror film.
lovely.
It's called Just One Night, and it was inspired by real life events that happened to my family and I. And
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, dude, it's scary.
What?
It's so scary.
Okay,
We
you shared with us a lot of things.
But I
and-
didn't tell you that.
No, I was like, this is real life shit.
Yeah, no, it's inspired by a real
Okay,
life event.
yeah.
So we went down to Florida with my family. We were going to Orlando, and we had the bright idea of staying in an RV with 4 kids.
Wow, that's
One,
brave.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 kids. Sorry.
Lovely.
We had an extra kid with us. Yeah, 4 kids. Okay, I'm just trying to remember if there was an extra one in there or not.
Okay.
And
One in the attic you don't talk about.
yeah, the
Right.
the brother that we
The Bart system twin.
Yes.
The evil twin that
Yes.
lives,
yes, you know what I'm talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, we stayed in an RV in Florida, and when I talk about Florida, I'm talking about the countryside of Florida, where it's like there's miles before you get to a gas station.
Yeah.
I didn't think these places still exist,
Oh, hell yeah.
but this was in
Scary.
Raphael
Florida's
loves to
big.
go to those places.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Weird.
This was right before COVID. We went to this RV, and I have a video of this too, so I'll have to show it to you later.
Yes.
But in order to get to the RV, we had to go down this long 1-lane dirt road, and the trees just kind of encompassed the whole entire road. And when I tell you this story, you're going to, from what I've told you that I can't say too much on,
Yeah.
you're going to connect where these things came from. But the trees kind of felt like they were coming alive, and they were hugging us and when you'd come through this 1-lane road, it felt like we were going into pitch black dark
Ew.
to light to pitch dark. It was scary. It was really scary, and it was.
What part
it
of
just
Florida was
rained.
this?
I think it was just outside of. It's called Sarah, something. It's outside of Daytona.
Sarasota?
It's about an hour away from Daytona. Hour and a
Okay.
half. It was an hour from Orlando, closer to the beach. And yeah, so
Just so I know to
very
never go
hot
there.
and humid. Never go. I'll let you know what the city is, and It was an Airbnb thing.
Oh, okay.
So Airbnbs kind of give you this luxury of someone owning this home. You could set up an Airbnb to, maybe haunt some people or scare anyway. So we go out to this RV and we're traveling down this road for probably about 30 minutes. And we're like, if the road was so run away and pits of water, you couldn't see the bottom of it. And you couldn't get off the road either. So we were thinking if another car comes from another direction, we're going to get trapped.
Yeah.
And there was no way back. You couldn't go backwards. It was
Who found
not
this
easy.
Airbnb?
It was scary. It was really weird.
How many stars did this Airbnb have?
Oh, it was 5. It had 5 stars. So we finally get there. It's in this property. It reminds me of the Everglades or like a swamp.
I don't know. It sounds
I'm
like
gonna ask
all
if
the
it's
kind of
swampy.
places that me and Raphael stay in. We stay in like a tree house that has like an outhouse as a bathroom.
That
and
sounds
we have
like
to
fun.
get through. Yeah, but it's like in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere, and he
Yeah.
likes that kind of stuff. He just likes to be away from everything.
And
Civilization.
we were thinking this
Yes.
might be a good idea. Well, we get everybody in the RV and towards the end of our stay, there's horses there. There's an electric fence. It's a giant land that is fenced off from everywhere. And we decide that we got to go grocery shopping, but that's like an hour away.
Oh my God.
So we got to go back outside. So we leave, and I take my daughter and her friend to go to the store. And then we come back, and there is this big truck that is in our way, and it's blocking the driveway. Okay. And it's got these big lights on it, and we would go right to it, and we couldn't go any further. And if we backed up, we would have gone right into a giant puddle and probably got the car stuck.
Wow.
So every time we'd move forward, the truck would go backwards, and then we'd back up, and the truck would move forward. So it was like this game of going back and forth with this giant truck.
Oh my God.
And we're talking,
somebody
this
go.
is big lights on the top,
Yeah.
massive big tires that could very easily ride over my SUV and
Like
crush it.
Monster Jam
Yeah,
truck.
it really is a Monster Jam truck.
That's terrifying.
And
I've
but
been $10
What was
tickets.
weird is why are we playing these games of going forwards and backwards? This happened about 3 or 4 times.
Oh my gosh.
And my daughter's like, "Can we leave? Because
I'm
we're gonna
trying."
die."
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jason and our kids are in there. My husband's in there, and I need to see if they're okay. Because all I can think is, did he just leave that place? And because the gate was open, the gate had a lock on it. So I was really concerned. So finally, the truck revs its engine and throws it in reverse.
Okay.
And goes pretty far,
Okay.
but really, really quickly.
Uh-huh.
So it probably wasn't very smart, but I'm thinking in my head, I need to get to my family.
Yeah.
So I told the kids, I gave the kids my keys, and I have one of those push start cars. And I said, I'm going to go and get the fence open. If anything happens, my daughter can drive the car. Get the fuck out. Okay, so I'm racing. She locks it. It was like all in a rhythm. And all the time, the truck is just revving up its engine and revving up its engine. And it didn't move, though. It was just revving it up and down, up and down.
God.
All I could think of was my kids. Now I've put my kids in the situation, and now put them in a situation. So finally get the gate open. I get back in. It's all in unison. We get back inside. I close the gate, lock it, and then the truck comes into the driveway and does its brights, and I come in and we race into the RV and we're all freaked out.
Wow.
Well, it's just like every horror film. Our cell phones don't work.
For fuck's sake.
The hotspot doesn't work in the RV.
Wow.
There was flat tires on the RV. I got pictures of this.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, it was enormously. There
that.
were so many problems, and I'm scared to death. You can hear the truck. It's sundown, like it's starting to sunset. So all of a sudden the truck leaves, and Jason's like, "I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing.
girl,
Don't worry
what?"
about it." And I'm like, I don't think you understand the magnitude of what's going on
Do you
here.
think he's just saying that to like when you
Calm you
have to
down.
tell your brain like it's okay, even though it's not kind
Yeah,
of thing, or
yeah.
is he really like?
No, he really
He's trying
believed
to-
it was nothing.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
he does enough horror films to realize it's not a horror film. He's never going to be in one until later that night.
Oh.
So, he calms us down. The truck never comes back. He's saying it's probably the neighbor just checking on us. I know, right? Why
nice
would
way
you
to
play
check
games
on
like that?
No, revving up the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
That's not.
So, all of a sudden it's like, I forgot to mention, a week to 2 weeks before that, I'm waking up at 3:00 every single morning. And it's
The witching
really, really
hour.
hot. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
I don't know if
God.
it's menopause or whatever the heck it is, but I'm waking up
Florida, the
On the
swampland.
dot?
on the dot.
Ooh.
It's like I'll look at the clock. Well, let me take that back. 2:58, 2:59.
Okay.
3 o'clock. It
Well,
is
that's still
in.
pretty
it's
close.
It was, and I'd wake up and I'd walk around the house, and this has been going on. It's maybe about a month, right? So I forgot to mention that, and it even happens while we're in the RV, and before that truck, we saw that truck.
Wait, so there's a separate house and the RV that's the Airbnb.
No, but that was when we were at home.
Oh, sorry.
So when we went on vacation, that's when the truck appeared. But before that truck, I woke up at 3 a.m., just like I have been for a month.
Yeah.
So I didn't think anything of it. This time I'm hearing a scratch along the side of the RV. And I forgot to mention that. And it's the RV's kind of pushing back and forth a little bit.
God.
And I'm hearing this and we're in the woods, so I'm kind of assuming it's a deer.
It might
or
be.
a horse that is around the property. So I wake up my husband. My husband takes a look around. Of course, the scraping stops,
Yeah.
but it happens 3 more days after that, and then he finally does hear it. The 3rd day, then the truck situation happens, and then I'm like, I think it's time for us to leave. And my daughter's constantly saying, "We're gonna get dead."
We're gonna
We're
get
gonna
dead.
We're gonna get dead, and they're going to eat us.
Yeah.
And this is her, and they're gonna make me watch them eat you.
Oh my God.
My daughter's just saying all these horrible things.
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
goodness.
Like, we get it.
I'm good. We can go. Let's just go stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we have like a couple days left. Let's just stay here. Everything will be fine. And this was the night the truck came. Okay. So everything, the truck was, this is the sunset. The truck's out there and it leaves, right? So then it's about 3:00 in the morning again. And I wake up and they're scraping on the side of the RV again. Jason wakes up. He hears it. He sees it. Not sees it, but he hears it. And I said, will you go out and see what it is? And he's like, I ain't going out there. It sounded so country.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah.
So finally the kids wake up and we're all standing in the living room of this RV. So the kids are on one side and we're on the other side. You know, it's a common RV.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, oh God. Yeah. 3:00 in the morning, white light fills the entire RV. White light.
Oh.
And then we hear woo, got really, really loud. That truck had its lights on
What the fuck?
the top and on the front, and it was revving its engine, and the whole entire RV was bright white.
Right outside the RV.
Right out.
How did it even creep up on you?
I don't know. The gate was locked. And Jason's saying there's got to be a reason for it. There's got to be a reason for it. There's got to be a reason for it. Maybe one of the horses got loose. And I'm like, do you want to go out there and check? Mm-hmm. And
You really
and
think it
he's
was
like,
a loose horse?
Yeah.
Jason?
So it stops. It just stops. And he stops. He's still out there. I see him get out of his truck.
You see the guy.
Yeah, I see the
the
guy.
truck.
And it looks, he's wearing overalls. It's just
shitting
like
me.
every
With a shotgun.
horror movie
Wow.
you could think of. Once again, no hotspot. Phone doesn't work. None of our phones work. The kids have phones. Nobody has phones that work. And I'm like, we're all like, my daughter, of course, is going, we're going to die. I told you.
Oh, God.
And then I was like, if we live through this, we're leaving tomorrow. I don't care. We're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we had 2 days left at that time, and Jason's still being positive about everything,
Jason,
which is so wonderful. But all of a sudden, just everything stops. Everything just stops. It just gets really quiet.
wait, this guy's out of his
Eerily
truck
quiet.
and it's quiet.
No, he got back in the truck, and he didn't. It just got real quiet. Like you can hear the bullfrogs at one point, and it just stops. Everything just gets quiet and stops.
Wait, tell me what happened when the guy got out of the truck.
He got back in the truck, but he didn't do anything. He was just sitting there.
He just stood outside of his
Yeah,
truck with the
yeah.
lights blasting through.
No, he turned the lights off.
Okay.
Gets out of his truck, and I couldn't see where he went. I just knew he got out, and I could see his overalls and stuff. But
Yeah.
and then he gets back in the truck.
Didn't say anything to you.
Didn't say anything to us.
the fuck?
This is 3 a.m.
The fuck?
Yeah, and he gets back in the truck, and he stays there for a minute, and he looks like he's writing something down, or he's got his cell phone out, and I can see lights.
Oh, his cell phone works.
Yeah, and his cell phone works. So I'm like, this is weird. This is really weird. And during that time, though, it's really eerily silent. Like we were hearing bullfrogs and animals and owls and all kinds of things, and all of a sudden now we don't hear anything.
Ew.
So it was almost like I felt like fate was telling us that something's wrong.
Yeah.
And
You got the no feeling.
yeah, the no feeling. Yeah, that's a great way to say that. And then he revs up his truck. Lights come back on again, but this time it's not the top lights. He just turns his headlights, backs up, and he fucking leaves.
It's so weird.
It was really weird. So the next day, we were able to get a signal. We had to walk far away. We called the owner of the house. She comes out and she goes, well, I don't know who that could have been. But she says, if you leave, you're going to have to forfeit your, and Jason's still saying he doesn't think it's anything. It doesn't happen the next night.
Oh, you guys
You stayed again.
Yeah, we stayed one more
Damn it,
night.
Jason.
I know. We stayed one more night. Nothing happens. I did wake up at 3 a.m., but no sounds this time. The last night everything was fine. And then the owner comes back to the house, the RV, to give us eggs. I don't know. That's weird too. And then we were like, so what is that? Was that a neighbor or something? And she said, oh, wait a minute. You're talking about my husband.
Oh my God.
Apparently one of the horses had gotten loose.
Okay.
And apparently at 3 a.m. every day, that horse would get loose and start scratching against the RV.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently at night, that's when it would get loose. It's like some kind of timer that was on the electric gate would somehow come off, and the horses would get out. And then
That horse or horses?
there was two horses.
Okay.
There was two horses.
Okay.
Okay.
It might have been one baby horse, but I don't remember. I got pictures. But the horses at night would get loose, and they would come and just scratch up against the thing.
Sure.
So she says, yesterday she said she didn't know who it could have been, and then she goes, "Oh yeah, that
it's
was
mine."
probably my husband."
Bitch.
I described the truck to you.
Yeah. A man in
Anyway.
overalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What was... Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no. So
questions.
we left the next day. I oddly gave her a good review. I don't know about that, but anyway,
Go back and edit it.
yeah. I don't know why I did that. I think it's because they give you reviews.
I know.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
It's a game. Like, well,
Yeah.
I don't, Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give a
If I got
bad
a bad
review.
review,
So I mean, we lived. Should I give her a good review that says we did not die?
Yeah.
Right. We almost died, but we didn't.
So on the way back, the kids are obviously asleep in the back, and I turned to Jason. I said, "I've got a really good idea for a horror film."
Wow.
The whole entire way back, we were talking about this, and it all happened in just one night.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
The
so that's what
inspiration.
started it. Yeah,
It's amazing when
with the trees and the world and everything getting quiet and things. Yeah, it
That's
just spawned this whole
spooky,
story.
Eerie shit.
Yeah,
it's very cool to see what inspires us when we get older. It's funny too, like when you're talking about, when you're 18 and you thought you were going down one path by
yeah,
doing that thing, and then how all these incidences that led you to being the creator that you are now. Like we all think about that. Think
Yeah.
about my life is too. Like I was going towards one path, but then when I became mentally ill, I thought like my life was over.
Yeah.
You know, from what I wanted it to be, and and here I am now, with a very good friend of mine and a very good new friend, and doing something that I don't know. Horror. It's not just about talking about horror. It's just like it's
a community.
It's a community, and I don't like you're saying that the when you go see a horror film, like the feelings it evokes, and like it's not just about.
It's getting into that world and it's escaping. And friendship's a lot like that too,
Yeah.
You can talk to your friend and escape that bullshit you're dealing with. Or the guy outside with his lights in a truck. But, and sorry it was a long story. But,
no.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
and terrifying.
It was, the also weird thing is I never woke up at 3 a.m. again.
Ew.
Huh. Oh, well.
And my mother, before she died, told me that she would always send me signs to let her know when she was there. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe, just maybe, she was giving me an idea for a film.
Maybe.
She used to always know I wanted to be a filmmaker, so.
I could ask you questions forever. I just want to ask 2 more, because I guess we got to wrap it up at some point.
I'm having a great time. Thank you for inviting me.
I just,
Sure.
since becoming a mother, when you became a mom, did that change the way you saw the world and everything as far as making your art and like how you present it, or was it just part of the ride? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like your lens on things.
I hope that my daughter hears this, because I don't think she gets to hear something like this from me very much. But the moment I saw my daughter, I was so enamored by her just wonderfulness and how beautiful she was that I just wanted to live for her at that moment. And as far as creativity is concerned, my life became hers at that moment. I don't think it ever dawned on me that I wanted to do certain things or being a mom and stuff like that. It was more about just being a part of her life and just taking it in the beginning. As she got older, I just started including her in things. Like,
that's very rare, because a lot of people make their children just their life, and you've kind of done both thing where they're a part of yours and what you do for yourself personally, which is
she's a cool ass chick too.
Yeah,
she's
really cool.
She's my little punk rock goth kid, spooky
She's
child.
a cool kid.
Yeah, they both are. They're both really cool. I have a now 19, soon to be 20-year-old girl. I'm sorry, gender fluid. I apologize, Teach. And my son, who is 15 going on 16 or 24 sometimes. And they're both very different children. And I'm very proud of who they are and who they've become. And I invite them into my films all the time.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to be, they don't have to be. I want them to take on their own world and their own nature of things and find out what they love to do.
Okay.
And Teach doesn't like to go to movies, but she loves helping when she can or
But
when
she
she
came
wants
to
to.
our movie night.
To both of them.
Yes, she
Oh, yeah,
did.
yeah.
Did she
Yeah.
really like that?
Yeah, she loved it. She loved you guys.
Special.
Oh,
She loved the both of you. She loved the both of you. She was.
That makes me feel special, because you said she doesn't like going to movies.
Nope, she does not like going to movies.
Wow.
Boy, isn't that weird?
Well,
She don't mind help making them, but
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
so
Does not go to
interesting.
Go back and watch the fruit of the.
yeah, my son's not really a moviegoer either. But he'll sit down and watch a movie with you. But he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not into it.
Interesting.
Me, on the other hand, man, take me to the movies.
like,
And
I
I
don't
wanna
watch
be
it,
in
I
the
wanna do
theater.
it.
I
on
have
my
to be
hands
on
in
the
it.
big screen. I was the unsafe one, I guess, going even when COVID
Yeah.
was going on. Remember those commercials? We sprayed down like welcome to the new AMC, and they're like dressed in a bee maker mask after each movie. Your popcorn food prepper will make sure that they're not doing it. They're just teenagers. They're not doing all the things advertising.
So great.
You're not wearing a mask
Yeah.
while they're buttering your popcorn.
We go to escape. What is that? What's her face? The Australian lady. She does. You see that commercial?
Yeah.
It's a place of wonder.
Yeah.
Place of, you've seen that, right? Every time you go to the movies, what's her face? The guy the chick. What is her name? She used to be married to Tom Cruise.
Oh, you're talking
Nicole
about
Kidman?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole. You see the Nicole
Yeah.
Kidman's ad when you
Yeah.
go to the movie theater.
No.
I love being in the theater.
The theater. It's like it's a
not
place
seen
of
that.
magic.
That
place
wasn't
of
very
wonder.
Australian on
No,
me.
place to Skype. Welcome to
Skype.
yeah. Welcome to IMC or something. I don't know. I thought you've seen I've seen it like so
weird.
many times.
No, maybe I blocked it out because it was stupid. I don't know.
There's
Like,
another
why
theater.
all you
that
do is
has
send me
the
stupid
CEO
stuff. I don't know.
sitting down asking questions. Like
The
it's
mar-
weird. It's,
Yeah.
The Marcus,
you know what I'm
what is
talking
the
about?
Marcus there? Like the
Yeah.
movie tavern,
love
the
that guy.
that
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm like,
I
and this is
love
my dad.
films, and I own this theater.
I
chain.
love that guy. I wish he was my uncle. I don't know what it
He's
is.
like a fun
I don't know.
uncle.
It's kind of weird. He was talking about Ryan Reynolds too one time.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, oh, you must have a lot of money.
Oh, I know, right?
That was the first thing I thought of. You have a lot of money, but
Well, that was the guy who gave us our tarot card reading. I used
In
to be a
Savannah.
dermatologist, and then I decided to do tarot cards.
Yeah.
wow.
I'm like, maybe
And he
go
owns,
back
like-
to dermatology because my reading was not.
Well, why? Why are you
Wasn't
not
great.
trusting his? He gave you the truth, Dana. You don't believe him?
None of it made sense, and to
It's
this
not.
day,
Remember what Cindy said? It's
Doesn't
not
make
supposed to make
sense to
sense
you
now.
no, I would look back because I found that
It's still
that I recorded
later.
it,
Yeah.
but I listened to it. It's like we went last October. I listened to it like last month. I heard. I was like, oh yeah, let me just
It's
see what
not
he
time
said.
yet. It's not
Oh,
time
it
yet to
hasn't
understand
happened
it.
yet.
So,
Because
you
I was like,
Exactly.
this doesn't
You
mean
know-
anything still.
Well, you have to
When
wait.
Jason says, he goes, if they're psychic, they're going to call me.
Call me now.
Call me now.
Tell me what's going to
Oh,
happen.
all the celebrities were part of that. Dionne Warwick. Who else was like the Psychic Friends Network?
Oh yeah, one
Yeah.
of the Jackson, Latoya.
Latoya Jackson.
Oh, I have a script I'm writing about.
Latoya
Latoya?
Jackson.
No. About seances and
Oh.
psychics and stuff like that. I have
Okay.
a
That's
script
cool.
Cool.
I'm writing. It's going to be a micro short. And I'm hoping to film it this year, but it's going to have my actress that I work with all the time, Jennifer Pearl. She's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, she did great in
and-
those shorts you just showed us.
Yeah, she's great. She's gone from playing a mother to a vampire to a call center lady,
Nice.
and with a New York accent. She sounds fabulous. She just won. She won Best Actress for The Hangover.
Oh, I saw you. Yeah, post
and
that on
then,
Instagram.
yeah, and then she
Nice.
just won
Oh,
again
awesome.
for Best Performance. And they showed all three of her films to show her diversity and depth. And
Nice.
Then
That's
they gave her the
wonderful.
award.
Range.
She deserves it. She works hard to do what she does. So I'm very proud of her.
We've learned as far as I guess I don't want to say trending or what people are looking for as far as making films. Like there's zombies, there's a vampire phase. There's what do you think is the current trend as far as what people want to see as far as making film, or what is the current trend in your belief?
Current trend in horror right now,
Yeah.
I've been seeing is vampires.
Vampires.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of vampires, werewolves. Yeah, those are the two big ones I've been seeing of indie
Okay.
horror.
Can you name anything specific like recently?
Well, I just know some indie filmmakers that have been concentrating on vampire stuff. Renfield came out,
Yeah, we saw that in
which
the
I
theater.
love
Oh,
Renfield.
I
It's
loved
so
it. She
beautiful.
ruined it. Oh my god, that
Me?
walk.
Oh,
Ugh, no.
Oh.
What's her name?
Oh,
Waka
no,
Flocka.
I love
Yeah.
her.
What's her name?
I know
No,
you're talking
I
about. I
don't.
love her.
I'm sorry.
Aquafina.
Aquafina.
Aquafina is great.
No.
I like her.
I liked her in one film where she wasn't doing a black accent and was playing a serious character about going back to her homeland, and she's like a
Yeah.
girl who grew up in New York City. That was a serious film, and she won an award for it. I liked that. I didn't
Yeah.
like her squawking around like a turtle in Renfield.
Squawking
Yeah.
like a turtle.
I loved it.
No, you just gotta do the right thing, okay? You know, I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right.
You know, we like what we like, but
We
I
like what we
loved
like.
her. I loved her.
No.
I thought she was great, but
Yeah,
I really
I
liked
like her.
Renfield.
I loved it. She ruined it for me, but I love that film.
I thought it was
And then we
filmed
have-
It
so
was the set,
beautifully,
ugh,
and it was
Yeah.
It
funny.
was so beautiful. So
And they
beautiful.
did another
colors.
series of the Anne Rice books.
You did?
Lestat. No, Lestat's. They have another TV
How
series
is
that's coming
have
out.
You,
I haven't
have you been
watched it.
watching the what was it? I think it's AMC Interview with the Vampire. Have you
Yeah,
watched
that's
that?
it. Interview with the
Have you?
Vampire.
I see a lot
Yeah.
about it, and people give it good reviews.
Is
I
it
don't know
a
if I want to
remake
watch.
or is
Yeah.
it like other
I
stories?
no,
Not-
it's I guess focusing on Louis and I forgot the other guy's name. Lestat and Louis.
Yeah, yeah,
And I guess their relationship, but it's
almost-
playing more into the gay undertones that we,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
were
And he's
so
black. And he's
Fright
black.
Night.
We
Louis
definitely
black.
need more gayness in films. I kind
Yeah.
of love that that we're bringing this in and making it like it shouldn't even be a topic. If there's two gay lovers, God bless them. Let's have it. Let's just have a
Let's
regular
you as a
relationship.
vampire.
Let's
A
just
show that I
make
saw
it natural.
explored that perfectly for me, and not like, hey, we're showing gay people. Like
Gay werewolves. I don't care.
no, it was
Yeah.
what was it?
Right on.
The HBO show, Our Flag Means Death. I thought that was
Yeah.
beautifully done as far as exploring, queerness and relationships and
Yeah.
love. Like I loved it because I was like, oh, this relationship was not what I thought it was, and there's even like a man mermaid and stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked how they explored
Yeah.
those types of relationships.
Me too.
Compared to other things, because I'm very
Was it a
very
documentary? What is
no,
it?
it's a show called Our Flag Means Death. But I'm very picky as far as, especially as a black person, when I see black films made. I'm very
Yeah.
very judgy about that. It's like I know what you're trying to do and I don't like it, so I'm very.
Yeah.
It has to be, the nuance has to
Authentic.
be good. Yeah.
You know, I think one of the films that I really enjoyed that is extremely inclusive, I would say, is Bridgerton. Have you ever watched Bridgerton?
I know what it's about. But yeah.
It's not horror, of course, but
No, I get it. I get what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I mean, it's not realistic to the time,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I mean,
But why not?
but
I mean,
let's make it a thing. Let's make it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, yeah, I
PC or
get
correct,
it.
But I love that we
I'm-
are just celebrating it. Let's just it's just life, and I love who I love, and it shouldn't even be a topic. It shouldn't even be a story.
Yeah.
right.
It's not even, shouldn't be a thing.
It's just really cool. Yeah. But, filmmaking for me is, some people take film extremely seriously and they get mad at you when you do things a certain way or don't do things a certain way. And that's not what filmmaking to me is, because I grew up with it as an enjoyment, as an escape, as a love. And that's what I want my films to portray, is an escape, a fulfillment and love. And that's when I see other filmmakers doing that, I really want to push and help them to succeed. Even if I'm not up there, I just want everybody to just make art. Just make art and enjoy
I'm
life.
looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to what Dana does, and I'm looking forward to
Dana's doing
getting
good.
into music, because that's all I talk about in film is the music, and I was like, oh, let me try it.
You really should be writing scores. You're very talented.
No,
and
I'm mediocre playing it. I'm a mediocre. I play a lot of instruments, but mediocrely. I don't think I'm very good, but we'll see.
If you can teach it, you can do it.
That's
and
not
you
true.
taught
Yeah.
piano.
That's not true. I'm a good teacher. Doesn't mean I don't know. Yeah.
You know
okay.
what? We are our own worst critic.
I know.
Exactly.
I'm just saying I'm not. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
I think
we'll
that's
see.
Jehovah Witness coming out. Like, you
No.
can't be good at an instrument and outshine God.
No, that's not
Like
it.
the singer.
That's just a me thing. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. Why not?
But I was gonna talk to you about Buried Alive. Buried Alive is going to be as a horror indie film fest. We've had several really incredible indie films come out that are going to blow your mind.
I've got to talk to
excited.
some of the people who from going to
The Atlanta Horror Society.
It's Horror Society. I've met already a few of them who are
Yeah.
presenting art, and it sounds
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, and
We're excited to be
we
there.
have gotten an overwhelming amount of films, and I'm glad that we thank you to our selection committee and our judges for really just taking good love and detail. My promise and my commitment to filmmakers is that someone is going to watch your film all the way through. My commitment to them, even though I am not a judge or a committee member, and that's important because there's so many people I'm friends with that make films, I don't want our film festival to look like a handshake deal. And a lot of them do.
Be biased.
And yeah, I don't want us to, I purposely don't want that. But I'm going to watch every single film that is entered. There are some that I'm like, wow, woo, that's a lot. But there are some that I'm like that have left me going, wow, how did you even come up with that?
Yeah.
There's a student film. I can't say too much about them because
That's going to be featured this year.
I can't say anything yet
okay.
because selections will come out on the 30th, but I feel pretty good about it. But this film was made by a bunch of college kids, and it's very Tim Burton. It's
wow.
very, like, they made this whole tombstone and cemetery with foam. It's hand carved. It's absolutely brilliant. It's beautiful. The costumes, everything. It was so well thought out.
Have you ever dealt with, okay, because we
Yeah.
shit on people all the time about their film because, like, whatever. Because I don't talk
We're
to them or meet them
reviewers.
or reviewers. But, like, when you encounter it close and personally, have you ever just had, like, I don't know, is there such thing as a bad actor or a bad film director and you have to be honest with them? Or maybe they need to grow.
don't win.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
So, like, have you ever dealt with that directly?
Yes.
Like, you suck. So what do you do? How do you
well, if
melt
they
them?
ask me for their opinion,
Yeah.
I can try to be tactful about it, you know. But I'm not doing them any justice. But the thing is that people in general have to remember that opinions are like assholes.
Everyone has.
Everybody
Yeah.
has one.
True.
And even though I'm a director, that doesn't make me the all-being know-it-all
course
of
not.
acting and stuff. But
Some things can be subjective, but sometimes
yeah.
a spade is a spade. And
Yeah. I don't go out there telling everybody how to act and what to do and
Yeah.
you know. But if you came to me and said, how did I do? And and it was horrible, then I would probably say, well, I wouldn't say something like, you know, stick to your day job.
Oh, right.
But, you know, I would say, have you done any other genres, or how do you feel about your situation? Like, you know,
That's
I don't know.
good.
Be a
That's
little
good.
bit more tactful about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But
that's smart.
and I try to encourage people to keep creating art, because the moment that we tell people they can't do something,
Of course, yeah.
you know, that just makes the world a worse place to be in.
There's a lot of artists, even musician wise, like they play tapes of their first stuff, like, wow, that was shit, and
Yeah.
just give
Yeah.
it. But same with comedians, everybody.
Yeah. You know, my husband is a production designer, and he blows me away all the time. And when I see the things he comes up with, like, he turned this Nerf gun into a cyber gun in a week.
Was that that was what I saw him working on when I was
Yeah,
here?
I think that
it
was,
looked
yeah.
great. It looked
And
great.
I've just seen him build rooms in a week
Wow.
that would blow your mind. And he's so very talented, and I'm just very lucky to have a man like that who loves me so much, and I love him. But it's just, he's so talented, and I
And
love
this
to
is
watch
recorded.
him work.
I love my husband so much, and I'm just gonna you hear that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know,
I'm just
right?
kidding. I know.
Isn't that
I
cute
know.
with that?
I know.
Jason.
See?
I guess that's why I married him, is because I admire him
Aw.
for all the things that he does. I enjoy watching his work, and I love watching his wheels turn. And that's a lot with anybody, you know. If I see a really good filmmaker getting into their craft, I love watching that unfold. And that's like sitting in on Selma and Halloween. I got to watch these people wield their craft.
And that's what we love sitting down talking with you, because we want to know, like,
Yeah.
how the gears turn to, like, make
We
what you
learned
make.
so much
Yeah.
about the process.
Yes.
And yeah.
And side note, she has graciously helped me learn so much more with editing, and
Yeah.
always is, like,
Aw.
hands on deck as far as you know.
for helping.
You know, I don't.
You know, I'll tell you, that is the one thing I have been all my life, is a technical person. They say that women in technology are unicorns because there's very little of us, and that's
Yeah,
the
I
same
heard-
thing for
yeah, I heard
filmmakers. They call us unicorns. But I've always been very technical. I've always dived into things and tried to learn. And once you learn one software, you usually can pick up another one fairly quickly, because there's always this same similar thing that they all have. So
Yeah, like you use what was it called?
Blender,
No,
After Effects.
I don't know what it was. No, I use CapCut. It's pretty
Oh,
basic, but you
yeah.
use this other one.
I
but
use DaVinci Resolve.
eventually, but you immediately were able to, like, it's the same thing. Let me show you how to do it the way I.
Yeah.
You're a great teacher, by the way.
Oh,
So-
thank you. Yeah,
Learned
it's
a lot.
all the same. I mean, CapCut uses the exact same. I mean, I please, if there's any professional editors out there, please don't listen to this part.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
But I started with Final Cut, And I moved on to DaVinci Resolve. And then I just recently started opening up Premiere. And I'm really loving Premiere. They have really come a long way.
Musicians make fun of people who use Rock Band on MacBook. It's a good program.
It's a good program. Yeah.
People have created whole albums. MIA, all that kind of stuff using a fucking laptop. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just try to find what I need to do. If I need to do some VFX work or green screen work, I will go to Premiere. I know that that's the best program to work in. If I'm going to be switching over to color, for someone to do color, I'm going to choose Resolve. Usually color, DaVinci Resolve, because usually a colorist will use, they're all moving to DaVinci Resolve, so I will edit in there. But I'm pretty diverse in technology, and I love jumping in and learning new things. And tell him I had to have an air fryer or fruit float in the air. In order to do that kind of stuff, I had to figure out the technicals. Like, do we drop the fruit and then play it in reverse in slow motion?
Yeah.
Do we do a high frame rate so that it looks clean and clear so I can slow it down and bring it back up? And that worked, but the problem was the lights that are coming in. So I needed some help. So a lot of times I would work and do what I can, but I always called in a friend at times. So, and they're great. They're very helpful. But yeah, with technology, I've always just been a technologist and just kind of.
Do you think there's a takeaway with being a filmmaker now with the help of technology, or it plays a hand now that it is useful versus the old school way of doing things?
So if I was going to recommend anything to a young filmmaker who's starting out, if you want to be a director, learn to edit. If you want to be an editor, learn to direct. Because those two things, you can tell a story 3 times. You can write a story, you can direct a story a different way, and you can edit a story a totally different way. So those 3 things are very important. You need to learn to write. And that's taken me a while. Writing's hard for me because I'm dyslexic. So to get there, to really do it correctly, it's taken me some time. Then to direct, you got to learn how to reach emotion and communicate with your actors, when to jump in, when to stay out, let them keep going. You gotta give and take. And then in editing, it's a whole new world. It's like, you could tell that story completely different. As a matter of fact, I edited a film for a friend that somebody else had edited before me. And the director had said, well, they're a good editor, but they just can't get the story right. They had edited a completely different story. And because I was on set with her, I knew what she was trying to get from that story, where the previous editor was not on set with her. So I edited a totally different story, same footage. So it's really important to, if, in my opinion, you are going to be a much stronger director if you know how to edit. I'm not saying edit your films. I'm just saying you'll understand pacing better for editing and directing. It's very important to me.
That makes sense.
So in a nutshell,
Yes.
tell us about the projects that you have coming out, where we can find out about them, and also when and where we can meet up for the next American Horror Society.
Yeah, I'd
And
love
the
to.
dates of Buried Alive.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, definitely. So a couple of projects we're working on: creature cards, which is kind of about bullying and monsters. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be doing a crowdfunding campaign, and hopefully we'll be filming in production in October. Still would love you guys to work on that with us if you'd like.
Sure.
Whatever. Yeah.
And then we're gonna be doing a micro short about a seance, and it's gonna be bloody and gory. Will not be a crowdfunding campaign for that one. It's supposed to be pretty simple. And then we're going into possibly Taker will probably be our next one.
Okay.
And then you can find us on Rock with Siren on Instagram. And I'm the girl with the purple hair. So people
miss
can
ya.
pick
Siren.
me out pretty
Yes.
quickly. Yep. And
Purple
then
Siren.
and then Rock with Siren everywhere. So and then Buried Alive is all over Instagram. It's Buried Alive Film Fest. And then then the Atlanta Horror Society. Atlanta Horror Society meets at the Mambo Zombie every last Thursday of the month. The next one is going to be Beetlejuice.
Ooh, that's good. I think it's going to be very.
That's going to be a big
packed.
one. Yeah, and we do costumes. We allow dress up. Bigger points for dressing up now.
Nice.
And
Nice.
you can wear a Beetlejuice shirt. I don't care. But I think that's pretty much. Atlanta Horror Society meets every Thursday.
What are
and
the
then
dates
Buried
for?
Alive. Yeah. So Buried Alive is November 7th through the 10th.
Right
Okay.
after Halloween.
And yes. And
Extension of Halloween.
yes, it's going to be the Halloween's Not Over Yet party. And we're going to be at Mambo Zombie for the kickoff party on Thursday night. Cinema Challenge is on Thursday. Awards is on Sunday. And our selections
It's at
will be
the
out
Plaza
September
Theater?
30th. Yep, at the Plaza Theater in Atlanta, which is rumored to be haunted, by the way. So it's very
knew
fitting
it.
The
for
Plaza
horror
Theater?
films.
Okay. Sure.
They said that they're always hearing and seeing things up there in the
Well,
in the
maybe it's
projector room.
the thing you heard about the people who live in walls and people's houses and they don't know
I
about.
don't think
What?
that's it. Frogging.
Frogging? Was it a frogger in
What?
the closet?
This is the thing. The true crime podcast I listen to. It's funny. They're actually Broadway singers, actors, but they have their own true crime podcast. They're hilarious. They're called I Think Not, and they cover like a lot of true crime series and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there is this. I don't remember which channel or app, streaming app or whatever it's on, but there's this thing, a whole series like dedicated to frogging, which is like people taking up shop, living in people's houses, not knowing about
I've
it,
heard
like
about
their
that.
attic or their walls or some shit, and it's just.
That is
Yeah.
scary.
I don't think that's the deal with the Plaza though.
That's
I mean,
funny.
maybe, I don't know.
On I Almost Got Away with It show. I watched like Criminals.
Yeah, they
on the
covered that
Run.
one too.
This guy who lived in a
They're so
Toys R
funny.
Us.
Wow,
for
I've
like
heard
for
about
months.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he fall through the roof?
I don't know. Probably.
Like there was a guy that lived in
thought there
the
was a
attic or of a store or retail store, and he
Yeah.
fell through the roof one day.
Sure. Yeah. This guy had a whole job and everything. He would leave when it was closed and come back and then go back on the walls of the Toys R Us and.
Scary.
Yeah.
That is scary. I feel bad for the guy to feel like he's gonna live in an attic. Could you imagine what that life is like too?
He's like, I get
Oh
paid
my
minimum
goodness.
wage. I got nowhere else to go. Like
Aw.
maybe I don't know. I don't know his
So
reasons.
it
Maybe
was
that's where our food keeps going because our food goes. I mean, I got two teenagers, but our
Yeah, that's
food
probably it.
disappears fast.
what?
Maybe we have a frog in our attic.
Who knows? Oh my god.
But yeah, so our selections go out September 30th for Buried Alive. So keep a lookout, and then we're gonna have nominations in October. And I'm super excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. We have a really great filmmaker. His name is Greg Bishop, and he's created 2 amazing short films, and we're going to honor him. And he's going to premiere in Georgia. So he's just very talented. So we're looking forward to him coming out from California.
Cool.
Wow, there's so many things on the horizon. And we're so honored that you got to talk to us about this. And also, I'll pin the websites at the bottom of this episode so you can just click on them for the lazy people
Yay!
to go to all the things that, that she's talking about.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me here. And I'm sorry.
I had a
bored you with
shitload
my
of questions,
stories.
but I'll have to bring you back for a second time.
Yeah.
Part
Yeah.
2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
And maybe we can
Sorry,
review a
they
film.
want me back.
You know,
Yeah.
we can pick one film to talk about.
Yeah, you
I would
pick
love
a
to.
film.
You can pick it, and we'll talk about it.
Oh, wow.
Maybe like after November.
Yeah, we got things.
I would
coming up.
love to talk about any kind of horror
Your
film
pick.
with you guys.
Yeah,
That'd
whatever
be a lot
you
of
want.
fun.
And we'll do our style episode, sort of.
Yeah.
A shorter formatted version.
Oh, you guys are
Can
going to
we do
also
that?
be
know,
media
right?
sponsors at Buried Alive. So that's going to be
yeah.
really
Yeah,
exciting.
Yeah, so check us out.
Yeah.
I know you told us like 10 times, but would you like to tell the audience, our
Yeah.
role?
It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
We're doing
So Horror
other
Hussies
stuff.
are going to be media sponsors. They're going to be basically running a block. And they're going to watch 10 short films, and they're going to learn all about them, I hope. And
hope so.
they're going to go to the Q&A, and they're going to ask questions and answers to the directors at the end. But they're going
We're gonna grill
to
'em.
basically have that block.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to give someone an award.
Oh.
So you're gonna come up as the horror hussies and give
Oh,
an
that's
award
so
out
cool.
to someone.
Oh, I would.
What is the award?
I handcrafted these. I sculpted these award. It's the reels guy.
I think. Did you show me it in your house?
Yeah. I started working on him, and
that's so
he's.
cool
I've
looking.
got 2 awards actually.
Yeah.
We have the meat cam and the reels guy. The reels guy and the meat cam have been a part of Buried Alive for a long time.
Yeah.
So I just sculpted him into award because it's a branded thing for them. So and he's going to be just like a little guy that sits here and
Do you think you'll
holds
be
his plaque.
posting that, or kind of keep it, like
I'm
to premiere
finishing
at
it
the
up
festival?
this week, actually.
Yeah?
I'm going to try to finish one of them up, and I want to have the Cinema Challenge one, the meat cam. Mm-hmm. I brought it to the Atlanta Horror Society.
Yeah,
There's some pictures out there.
I saw those
See it in
pictures.
person.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And that is, we're making like several of those, and they're going to be given out as Cinema Challenge winners.
I hope no one like has a moment where they trip and fall and break.
Oh,
the
I don't know.
award stage.
I'm trying to make them in a good, durable material.
Yeah.
So let's hope they don't.
I've seen that. I've always
I'm
wondered,
just
is
going to
that
recommend
fake?
not tripping and falling with your award.
Watch where you're
Yeah.
going.
There was anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. There was an Oscar winner.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, you saw what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
fell.
Broke their goddamn.
Yeah.
Oscar.
I was just like, he broke, the guy sitting next to her broke her Oscar, and he just bumped into her or something like that. It was
Wow.
really
Oh,
weird.
damn.
Must have not been, or was it a bit, or they?
I don't know. I wonder if it was a bit, because
Since
that
it's a break like that, just
I don't think it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they looked pretty
his
solid.
award touched her award and it broke.
Okay.
They touched awards.
They touched awards.
I would cry if I won an Oscar and it broke that night.
I'm
I'd
like,
be
you need
"It's
to
just a
super
piece of
glue
metal."
this.
give me yours.
I know.
I wonder if
Get me
do they
another
give
one.
them their actual one with their name on it when they come on the stage, or is it like when you graduate they give you a fake diploma and you get the real one later?
You know, I don't know.
You know
That's
what
a
I
good
mean?
question.
Because then they bring them out. Supposedly
feel like
nobody
they-
knows who it is that wins it. So unless they're like,
no,
they
I feel
turn
like
it
they
around.
do
or like,
an Oscar for photographs for everybody.
Yeah.
And then maybe they get their real one
The
later.
plaque.
Well,
on
I'll
it or
tell you
something.
what, like other film festivals do, and what we're gonna do is we have plates that go on top of the award, and it says like Best Director on the front of it.
Yeah.
And they don't know who wins that award. If you look at it, you won't know. It just says Best Director.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the card, when they read it, it has the nominations, and then they say who won. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be kind of like the Oscars. You're going to stand up there and you're going to say nominated by blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to say this one won. And a lot of film festivals do that.
okay.
I think it's cooler to have your name on it, but at the same
yeah.
time, it's
Oh, so you get it. It just says.
Best Director
Come on
or
now.
something like that.
Yeah, I would like my name on it.
Carve your own
So-
name.
Okay.
But then you can give it away to other people. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what Hey man, I'm doing pretty bad. You want this? I don't know.
I liked
Yeah.
your film better.
You want to buy my award?
You want to buy an award? Yeah, like
Don't
you could
touch
buy
awards.
like what, football rings
handcrafted.
on eBay, right? And just say
Yeah.
you played as a professional football
Quarterback
player.
Yeah.
or
It's
whatever
proof right
the
here.
roles are.
Yeah.
You know, also, we were talking about Buried Alive. We have a video game, too.
What?
That's going to
Really?
be at the plaza. Yeah, it's the Buried Alive Scream Machine. It's an arcade game.
I thought you were just having an arcade game, a random one. Like it's a Buried
No.
Alive
It's
game.
specific.
It's an arcade game that has
you
a whole
design it?
bunch
Who
of...
designed
No, I didn't. It's... Oh, man, I'm so sorry. I can't remember his name. But it was handed down to me from the founders. And I now own the Buried Alive arcade game. It has a zombie Pac-Man that was programmed into it. It's pretty cool. And it has all these horror games for like Castlevania and all this kind of stuff. And it's free to play. It's going to be at the plaza a month before the actual event. And they
So
can
all
play
October.
So I can just roll up in there and just play a
play
game.
it.
if I feel
Probably have to
Yep.
stand in
it.
line.
You'll see it. You'll see it in there. It's
No,
a Scream
just go
Machine.
there like,
And then we also going to have a TV monster with the TV
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
have one of those guys there too. So
That'll
it'll be
scare
pretty
me.
Cool.
They are
It'll be
kinda
cool.
Scary.
Oh, they're not
Yeah.
that scary.
no, I can't do people in costumes. I don't go to haunted houses for that
What
reason.
can you do? Mannequins in costume? Because this is a
Mannequins?
mannequin in costume.
If the mannequin's not, if it's not moving, obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
A lot of animatronic.
it's got a video. It's got a video.
That's
in
fine.
It.
I just
Yeah.
can't do people in costumes like even Tweety birds.
What do you do
I
on
lose my shit.
Halloween?
That's fine.
That's weird. I didn't know this
Do you
about
go to
you.
New York? Have you ever gone to, well, you've gone to
Yeah.
New York, so have you gone to like Times Square?
Yeah, do the little 5 points thing, and
I
all
think that's
that.
why you have a thing, because you don't ever know what's going on in that furry costume.
I that's not what I don't know. I can't do haunted houses, and I can't. I mean, I am a little scared. I can't like if say if like Tweety, if someone's dressing like Tweety Bird for Halloween, if they're near me, inside I'm dying.
Yeah.
I really am.
You know what's
But
funny?
I'm just
'Cause
like, but I'm drunk anyway, so that helps. I'm like, okay.
Watch all these people little 5 points.
You know, I'm like,
Halloween
I'm
parade.
terrified inside. Actually,
oh my gosh, I can't do clowns.
Oh yeah, you
Clowns.
mentioned that when we did
Clowns.
the Poltergeist episode.
Yeah, that clown from Poltergeist gave me chlorophobia, and
Sounds so weird because
yeah.
It wasn't the it one.
chloroform.
It was the Poltergeist
It was
one.
Poltergeist because I was a kid, and I had dolls in my room, and that scene was scary as fuck.
Really?
man.
I don't know
Yeah.
why it did not scare me.
Really?
Poltergeist 2 scared me. There was like a scene where this thing is, you know,
Oh,
that scared the shit out of me. I think it's the second one.
I don't think I saw
Yeah.
the second one.
It was, what the fuck is that? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's scary. Like
Did you see the one in the skyscraper?
The skyscraper?
Yeah, that's
you
the
mean?
one that the little girl died actually at the very end.
Are we talking about
the
Poltergeist?
Poltergeist. Yeah, the
Poltergeist.
little
Yeah,
girl
it
does
was in
die
a
in real life.
skyscraper.
Yeah.
In a,
Yeah, they gave the girl
throwing-
to a different family, and I can't remember. I think it was her cousin or
What?
uncle. Yeah, I guess there was just
is
Too
this
much
so
going
third?
on at the
too
house,
much going
right?
on
In
and
their
they
family.
were
Yeah.
Carol Ann. They gave her to.
They gave their daughter
uncle.
away?
I
For
feels like
safety
that.
reasons or something. She went to go live
For
with her
sa-
uncle
oh,
or
I
something,
see.
or
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
This
other
is like
family.
the third one or something?
When she's grown, right?
Yeah, she's kind of grown.
Grown-ish.
Yeah, 12, 13.
By the
But-
same actress?
Yeah.
Yeah, before
Actually,
she
she
died?
died
Okay, yeah, 'cause
during
she did.
the
During
filming
the
of
filming.
that.
Yeah, with her
Yeah.
chrome.
It was something with the Super Bowl, right? That she died.
No,
She
it
had
was
a-
the date that,
She
you
had
know.
Okay.
a stomach disease. There
I
was
thought it was
something about.
I talked about it. I
not
think.
Crohn. We talked about it. We review Poltergeist, but we forget
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I can't do trivia. I can't do. No, I read a lot,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything. Raphael doesn't
doesn't-
read
I
at
feel
all.
like that too.
He knows everything. He doesn't read anything.
Don't retain
Yeah.
anything.
I don't retain. I
Yeah.
wish I read all these books.
That's
Couldn't
I
tell you a
can't- I
thing
can't
about
get-
him.
I can't. No.
I feel the same way. It's like I watch
There's
a
more
movie
upstairs. I read a lot. I don't.
and I
don't
I
remember.
get into the movie so much it's like a part of that experience that I forget in a back memory. So I watch a movie again and it's like I don't remember watching this, but I know I did.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that about a lot of horror movies
Yeah.
because people are just like, "You didn't see this," and I'm like, "I think so. I don't know," but like
Yeah.
it feels familiar, but it's like I just forget shit.
Yeah.
I need to start taking more of my
so
omega
mad at
3s.
myself. I can't remember.
My fish oil.
Yes,
Oh, I'm
save
50.
my brain
Ah,
from
50.
Alzheimer's. You gotta start now. We're
That's
in our
right.
40s.
You're right. You're right.
Fish oil.
Should have started in our
You
30s.
take it?
Huh?
Fish oil.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
omega
was talking
3s,
about,
not 6.
We were talking about I'm almost 50. I'm 48.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. I take a probiotic. It's the only thing I take. I guess
I
I
don't
should
even
take
take a
stuff. I
probiotic.
don't even. I don't know. Whatever. I just let things fall apart on their own. That's fine. I'm fine. I'm okay with it.
Well, I'm excited you guys are going to be at Buried Alive, and I think you're
We
going to have
Thank
a
you
lot
so
of fun.
much for the
We-
opportunity.
Yeah,
we
it's
are.
gonna be
We
fun.
are. We are nervous first. We've had a lot of firsts this year for
It's
the
like-
horror hussies of 2024 and
It's been
25,
a big year for
25.
us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make it happen. I guess.
Yeah.
We'll try
Yeah.
not to drink too much beforehand
No,
and drop
that's
the
not gonna
award.
change.
Yeah. Of course we're going to
Touch
drink.
awards.
Hey, that'll
Crazy.
just
I
make
said
it more
too
fun.
much.
That'll
Okay.
just
Too
make it more
much.
fun. If you enjoyed The Crow, you're going to enjoy Buried
Yes.
Alive. This
Yeah.
is the same kind of event.
What do you think about? I guess what the Crow had their premiere and everything. How did it go? I think that the old director said that they didn't pull in as much as they thought they were going to, or something.
Well, there's a lot of controversy against it, but
yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I still haven't either.
I'm
People have
not
been
sure. I
asking me
think I'm
about
gonna
it. Like,
save it
do you
for-
watch horror movies? Did you watch? I'm like, actually, I didn't.
When I heard just the music that was in the trailer, it sounded like trap rap music. So I was like, oh, I was hoping to have some like
The Cure.
it's like something of that vibe. It's like, well, that's not happening.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
I try really hard to not. It's funny because I'm a festival director, but I try really hard not to demean anybody's art.
No,
You know, I try really hard to not
But
do
you
that.
listen to us. That's all we do.
I do.
I'm sorry.
Poo-poo.
It's okay. It doesn't-
Poo-poo
it's
or
fine.
praise.
Poo-poo all way. That's
I don't really mean it. It's just entertainment.
People are probably like, "What did you make?" Nothing.
I know, right? Let me see you try to make it. Yeah, like yeah,
No,
yeah.
I mean,
And now I'm like, "Wait, if I do make
You know,
something,
I
now I'm
just-
scared."
I think what I mean by that is that I hate it when people just hate on something
Just
that
to
they
hate on
haven't
it.
seen.
It's not that. But I told you, like, I am curious.
Yeah,
I am curious.
that's the thing. It's like you can make assumptions. That's fine, but I'm not going to go out there and tell you not to watch anything or to hate something if I haven't seen it. It's an Eric and Shelley story, but technically it wasn't. It was a Eric and what was her name? Sorry, but it was Sarah. So it was really the two of them.
That's true.
And
Oh yeah, I wonder if there's even because I don't know if they're
small
making a
child.
remake or are they going to have the girl or like I don't know.
yeah, she's almost in that film more than Brandon Lee is.
No, that's true. But I mean, with the new one, that's what I
Or
thought.
at least the same
Yeah,
amount.
I couldn't see that from the trailer that there's like that aspect.
Yeah, I don't think they even have Sarah in there, did
They
they?
don't.
I
Not
just
a
see him
Sarah
like I just
type
see him like
character.
a Jason Statham, like like a with the guns and
Yeah.
like that vibe. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's what we're going for. Okay.
I
don't
think
know.
they were trying to reach a younger crowd, and that's the problem. I think that it's just make a film. Don't try to find an audience and fit something to it. People will gravitate to something.
The right people will
Well, that's
gravitate
my problem
towards it.
with Hollywood just redoing everything I ever grew up with. I don't understand why. I don't understand why they do this. They're remaking Pie Pie with Will Smith. Will Smith. Okay.
Just
He's
laugh the way
also
you say
doing
it.
another Legend.
Oh really?
And I Am
Oh, like
Legend.
years later. Or,
Yeah,
didn't he
like
die
he
in
escapes.
the end of?
Well, you don't know. If
Oh.
he died off
don't
screen.
remember.
There was an
Okay.
explosion. He was
Oh.
in a little area, I think, last time.
That could be interesting.
See, I saw that too,
with-
and all I remember is the dog part.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
you don't know
and the
if
animals.
he died or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Or
thought
it
that
could
was
be a
done very
prequel.
well.
I'm trying to remember what happened, but I thought it was an after.
Where he like sets up all the mannequins so he doesn't feel lonely when he goes like. There's
Yeah.
an actual like Asian little village that has so few people. A woman made all these dolls and sets them around town. They're the creepiest looking things I've ever seen.
Ew.
Oh, I gotta
Just
check that out. Where's that at?
So the people in the town won't feel lonely. So she
Yeah.
makes
That would
like
creep me the
like
fuck
an like
out.
an
Yeah,
I
me
am like.
too.
I'll find it for you.
Yes.
The dolls look They look like it looks like. I don't know.
The animatronic?
Muppet-
What do you-
No, I don't know.
God.
Are
Like,
y'all
it-
familiar with Doll Trail?
Doll Trail?
Yes.
No.
I haven't
Doll
been
Trail.
there,
I used to
but-
live around there. I would
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy too.
Wait,
I
where?
like
It's
it.
near
Yeah.
Stone Mountain?
No, it's near the ghetto off of Moreland. I don't know exactly. It's
Yeah, it's
called the
close to
Doll
Moreland.
Trail, and it's a hiking trail. I used to hike there after work and
You
stuff.
said you used to live near there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Oh, is
used
it
to
by
live-
Riverdale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. We used to go there and
Yeah.
take pictures and put lights
That's
and
cool.
weird dolls and
Yeah.
Like
I-
this doll
yeah,
right
like
here.
that doll.
A lot of stuff like this. I have pictures. I'll find it from one of my old posts and I'll repost it as a
Nice.
horror hussy story.
Okay, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah.
But yeah.
You want to do
Sorry
a
if
closeout?
I've talked your head off.
No.
No.
We're sorry for touching your head off.
I don't know. I keep saying yeah. So I don't know. I just keep talking.
I know.
It's okay.
Then we go into. I digress into another story.
I know.
I
Right?
digress into
But-
a digress.
You know that. Do y'all like serious slasher movies? Are you into
Yeah.
the gore porn?
What is gore porn per se?
Saw.
Yes.
That's
Terrifying.
one of my
My
favorite.
favorite,
That's my
yeah.
favorite franchise.
Yeah,
that
you-
and Purge and those are my
So-
favorite franchises. Human Centipede, all three of those, I guess.
Oh, really? Human Centipede? Really?
Yeah, that was one of my
Oh.
picks.
It's not my favorite, but I thought it was well done. But Saw is probably on top
Yeah.
for me amongst
Wow.
others.
I love the gore. I love slasher films, but I don't get into it in a way that it's like my favorite, if that makes sense.
It's mine. I have to
Yeah.
say. Of course, I like slow build, psychological, but it's probably my favorite.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I think more along the lines of like poltergeists and things like that are just scary and deep meaning, like the Hill House and stuff like that. That's pretty scary. Yeah, Silent Hill's a good one too.
It's been a minute. When did that come out?
Oh, a long time ago.
It's probably been a minute since
I
I've
love-
seen it.
Years.
I loved Midnight Mass because it reminded me of
Yeah.
just like the old school vampire shit.
Yeah.
Even though,
Is that the show you're trying to make me watch?
yeah.
Is that the one with Heather Langenkamp?
Huh?
The Heather Langenkamp movie that's on Netflix.
What is it called?
Midnight Mass. Isn't
Yeah.
that the one with Heather Langenkamp from Friday Nightmare? Played Nancy on Nightmare on Elm Street.
I don't think so. But
It's
I'm
on
not
Netflix,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
She played the school head. It's like all these
In
kids are
Midnight
dying
Mass?
of cancer and diseases, and they go to this house.
This island. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Midnight Mass? Or are you
Silent
talking about that
Hill.
show?
No. Oh wait, I think I'm talking about Midnight Mass.
Okay.
Is that it?
The redheaded? No, she's the nun in Midnight Mass. I'm trying to think who the teacher.
I don't think I'm thinking the same film.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
it don't sound right. It don't sound like the
Midnight
same
Mass
one.
was a series.
This is serious.
Yeah, this is a series.
Okay. It's
But
the
it
same
was a
one that
bunch
does
of
Fall
kids.
House of Usher.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty similar.
The Hill House something.
Huh.
And there was another one, the something of Bly Manor. The Haunting of Bly Manor.
that
or
was
I
good.
something.
thought Castle Rock was done
Yeah.
very well, incorporating all those characters. I didn't
Y'all
finish
should
it,
watch
but
The
it was good.
Terror. It's
The Terror?
interesting.
Yeah,
The
I'm gonna
Terror
look
is a
that
new
up,
one.
actually.
It's a new one. It's really good.
What do you think about Chucky, the series? I hear good things about it. Maybe it's for a younger audience. I don't know. Because it has a lot of the original cast members from the older film.
I love
From the
what
older one.
Chucky's doing as far as like inclusivity and messages and things like that. I think it's a great way to be inclusive with the community. Mm-hmm. But I'm not a fan of the Chucky series.
Have you seen it or trailers of it or whatever?
I saw the movie and I just wasn't a fan.
Well, there's
wasn't
several
there.
movies. I mean, the
Yeah.
TV show.
No, I haven't watched the TV
Oh,
show.
okay.
I didn't know there
But
was a
I
TV
wasn't a
show.
fan of the movie, so I didn't really get into
Oh,
the TV show.
in general, Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
gotcha. I gotcha.
but I found out that Mark Hamill was the voice of a Chucky.
What?
Yeah.
So random.
So yeah, and now I kind of was curious because I like Mark Hamill and his voice is he plays the Joker too. He's a Joker as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Isn't he in the Fall of House of Usher too? Like he plays
Yeah.
Pim, or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like their guy that like
Yeah.
their fixer or whatever.
Yes.
Which is such a weird role to see.
Yes. Do you we were talking about horror movies. Probably you want to know what my worst one was? The worst film I've ever seen
Yeah.
was Hereditary.
Really?
I hated that movie.
Really?
I
Why?
hated that movie.
When I first, I watched it three
It
times.
was weird.
Yeah,
I know,
the
that's
first
why I
time
liked it.
unnecessary.
it got
We covered
weirder
that
and
one.
weirder. Yeah, it took me 3 watches to understand everything that was going on. Okay.
All right, how you want to do the closeout?
I don't know. I have no idea because we always say Raphael, take it away, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It should be pretty simple. Well,
Now we're overthinking it.
okay.
Hello, it's me. It's time to go. So
We'll just sing an outro.
Yeah. Shannon, you've been great. I've been searching for your face. And now me and Dana can say, I love you. Oh my God. That was
Even though
so
you
That was
said
great
it
for
so
Bono.
I don't
early.
that was okay. That's it. All right, guys. Check out all of her amazing projects that are pinned in this episode below.
Yes.
And stay tuned also for what the Horror Hussies are doing in conjunction
Yeah.
with the American Horror Society and with Buried Alive.
Atlanta Horror Society. Did you say
What?
American
What'd I
Horror?
say?
I thought you said American Horror
Did I say
Society.
that? I'm sorry.
You know what? I've been getting that mixed up
Sorry.
because it's all the same
I was
acronyms.
thinking about the show.
AHS,
Sorry.
American
Oh,
Horror Story,
American-
Atlanta
I'm
Horror
so
Society.
sorry.
No,
That's
don't
probably-
apologize. It was funny.
I was
Okay.
saying it before all day yesterday.
Yes. Atlanta
Atlanta
Horror
Horror
Society.
Society.
Well, for what? Obviously, us ATL weirdos. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Shannon. Do it
Hey.
again. We have to do this again.
Yes, I loved it.
and
Thank you so much for inviting me here today. I've really enjoyed being here, and I've had a really good time. And I'm looking forward to talking about all the great horror films we're going to see together or apart or whatever. It's going to be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I cannot wait to have you at Buried Alive. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, just the future looks bright, my friends.
It does. 2025 is gonna be so exciting.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a lot of great
nervous.
things going.
As Dana says, we're gonna have the nervous parts.
All
All right, there we go again. We keep talking. Okay. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Jesus. Demonstration of, I don't
This
understand.
gas station horror that she saw on the
That
way
is
to
a horror film in itself.
It's
I'm just going to
Atlanta.
tell these people what happened real quickly.
Yeah.
I opened the door in a gas station bathroom, and a guy was standing on the toilet with one leg on the sink
Yeah.
and the other leg on the toilet.
Yeah.
And he was doing a dookie.
Yeah, the dookie. I was like,
with his
what?
pants on the floor
And he
away
was
from
grunting.
him.
His pants was on the floor. And I'm like, why don't you just sit on the toilet? I saw
His pants
everything
were
in
on
the
the
floor.
world. And I ran screaming, literally.
What do you say?
saw it.
Occupado.
Occupado. So I was like, wow. I don't even know what that was.
Raphael's a very
That
good
was a
farter.
0.5.
He says he's levitated off the toilet before. That's his. Wow.
Whatever, Rafa.
Like that other
He's full of
guy?
shit, literally.
He should go to that Chevron.
keep going and going like the Energizer Bunny.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There was a Halloween version of that too. TV Dracula versus the Energizer Bunny.
That sounds.
Energizer Bunny.
Does sound terrifying. Dana, I really like your T-shirt and the way you drink your water. I don't know. It's just,
Thank you.
I feel like bubbles are coming on.
That angel food cake and the
so
espresso.
much wine and espresso.
I'll make you fly.
Okay.
Y'all are weird.
Well,
Why do I think he's pink?
I thought he was pink too. Now that you say
maybe
that.
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let's see who's
But I don't
wrong.
trust my memory clearly. So
I'm gonna see who's right. Who's right? Hey Google, was the Energizer Bunny white or pink? Okay.
I don't
Just
speak
that accent.
It's white.
speak correctly.
Milky
Energizer
white
Bunny.
breast.
I bet y'all are. He's pink. He's
What?
pink.
He's pink.
He's pink.
I told you.
You're right. I am wrong. You are so right. And I'm so wrong.
I'm on Hinge now, and like 19-year-olds are like liking my pictures, or 66-year-olds.
What is unhinged?
I keep Xing them out, and then they show up again.
You know what you need to do is you need to just put your feet out there one day.
It isn't. But why does it look like that?
He's
now?
not wearing sunglasses.
I don't remember him. Yeah. What happened to the cool sunglasses?
Can I talk about your roses? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, I love this. This is a girl after my own heart. She spray painted the roses black. It's like a
Just
demonic Alice in Wonderland, the Black Queen.
But one red rose.
One red rose. The reason why they pick bunnies is because
they're
bunnies,
fast.
No, it's because I've always thought it was, bunnies are known to have sex all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They keep going and going and
going. Cameron Diaz, Hooker Dad. I'm gonna watch that.
I mean, they named a
think
whole
you got some-
vibrator the rabbit, so
Yeah, it's true.
I should buy one of those.
They're not my thing. I prefer my hands.
My hand gets tired.
No, I just don't know what it is. I just like my hands. I
Cheap date.
no. I'm in one with myself, Dana.
I'm always I switch it up. You have to ask, you can't afford it.
I know, right? The Datsun.
The Datsun,
The big Datsun difference. Is that what they call it? That's the ad.
the mob.
What? Ooh, look at this. If I can fly, you can fly. What does that mean?
I don't know. Like
Bitch.
like advertising was so weird back then.
It was.
What is it? What is she trying to? Is this a white thing?
I don't know.
Look at it. There's a white woman that says, "Hey, if I
You
could
can
fly,
you can fly. I don't know.
if the door's locked, you ain't coming in."
Right.
You stay on your side of the
Mommy,
house.
what are you doing? You sound like you're hurt.
Ha 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 ha.